Yesterday's highlights had pain meds, oil panic, fake bears, marriage takes, and men refusing therapy creatively.
You can keep carrying what's eating you alive, or you can finally put the weight down. I know there was no tipping. I shouldn't say it either. Not that I know. Allegedly, there was no tipping. It was more so I got pains in my body and I need to take medication to help me with my pains, and I probably shouldn't drive.
That's every bad decision. Fully aware, but still looking for a loophole.
What motivates you most in your business or career?
Most guys say purpose, but rent is usually doing a lot of the talking.
What is it? Is it your own mirror? Is it personal growth and learning? Is it building something bigger than myself, or is it financial rewards and security?
That sentence clocked out halfway through and still wanted a paycheck.
Hey, what happens if oil hits $200 a barrel?
At $200 a barrel, date night becomes two people staring at the gas receipt.
Man, that's gonna be ridiculous stuff out there. An economy reacher is a lightweight, budget-friendly assistive device designed to help individuals with limited mobility grab, lift, or pull items without bending or
I thought we were getting market analysis. Nope, grandpa grabber.
stretching. Well, he's dropped something this morning, and I have I got no words for it.
That's every guy freestyling at work after ignoring the email all morning. Silence and a deadpan nod.
So if you can drop me some words for that topic, that'd be super helpful. Just saying that I got nothing here in the words for trending topic, and I am standing here like a fool.
Relatable. That's half of adulthood with better shoes on.
Which we know that I don't like doing when I'm trying to do a show here. Well, you kill the product to keep the value.
Rich people throw out a bag. I rinse takeout containers like a homeowner.
It's actually as simple as that. And if that means destroying a Birkin bag because I'm getting rid of it, so this one goes up 30 grand.
Meanwhile, normal people are reusing Ziploc bags like war survivors.
Well, that's why they do it. It's about keeping value.
Fuck, it was so, I mean, literally it was like probably one of the most efficient weddings.
Only a man says wedding like he is reviewing forklift performance.
You know what I mean? Like I find them so often such an ineffective use of time.
Nothing says romance like a husband grading the event in real time.
I love what you're telling me. So basically you're in a box, and every period of time that box would drop a wall, essentially.
So there's probably, I mean, Jesus, you know, he went through, God, where'd he go? He went to a really prestigious med school, but the place was just fucking filled with doctors. Like, I mean, I've never seen more doctors in one fund, not even in a goddamn hospital. You know, doctors are spread out. No, they're shitty doctors.
John doesn't share opinions. He throws a brick through the group chat.
She's all, you know, you would look at this and never know that over half of these guys are doctors.
Just a bunch of children at the end of the day.
He said they were doing like 1,500 flashcards a day learning shit. He said the flashcards are killing us.
That's just college with debt and a God complex.
Because I find that when somebody's doing that, they're like you're on a you're just in their mind, you're on a different level than them or something. I'm like, no, man, let's just be on the same let's stand on the same level of floor and have a conversation that's eye to eye, instead of calling me by a title that I think is kind of goofy right now.
Every guy hates titles until the waiter forgets to respect his watch.
It's Krispy Kreme, but it started because they throw out all their old donuts every single way.
That's business. Waste perfectly good stuff and somehow call it premium.
I said to myself, well, because you guys would all wait until the restaurant was closed. He's like, oh. I go, that's why they do that, to keep value. What's your POV on that?
I believe you've got to be a shrewd business person, but you also have to know when it's time to break the rules and take care of a person.
Every workplace says people matter, right until people become inconvenient.
When I got one of my first jobs in life, Johnny, at a hotel here in Winnipeg, my boss, what was I, 19, whatever it was, 20, Carter's age. I sat down with her and she showed me a white piece of paper. She goes, here's the rules. I was like, well, Gene, there's nothing on the paper. She goes, exactly. She goes, I want you to make the best decision on behalf of the customer at the time.
A blank page terrifies people who need policy to be decent.
Your job as the CEO of the company that I'm investing in is to maximize my return on investment. That's your job. Your job is to maximize my investment, give me your return, so then I can choose where I want to go invest that money in helping people out. But to me, the bigger conversation, Johnny, is who in somebody's circle is it time to say, hey man, we need some help? Because we don't want to turn the news on one day and find out the person's dead.
That's the line where jokes stop and real friendship gets a job.
Yeah. Yeah, and to me, this is not a Tiger Woods story as much as, you know, if we have friends and this keeps happening, like you've had a buddy, John, pretend you had a buddy, or this is you. you know, 4 times, 5 years, you keep crashing your car. At some point, does a friend say, come on, man, like, fuck, you got to stop because you're going to kill yourself? Or do we just let our friends kill themselves?
A real friend would rather piss you off now than miss you later.
And you think about how many fucking people have been in 4 car crashes in 20 years that are sober as a fucking judge. We're going to tell them, give up your fucking license?
That's not rude. That's love without the soft lighting.
We both know that when humans accumulate wealth, we also accumulate people around us that just will say yes. Right?
Money attracts fake loyalty faster than abs attract bad advice.
Right on TV, I was in the wood shop, baby.
Men say wood shop like they personally built the garage and the nation.
Just became 12 years old when you dropped that word.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking build this one of these fuckers myself.
I got a quick little video of a kid without a phone in 2026. We don't see this happening much anymore. Like any folk, you know, any parent in 2026 would be like, yes, I wish my kid would do that instead of being on the phone. And even if they're lighting a fire in the basement.
Modern parents will celebrate anything that isn't a screen addiction or vaping.
You know how difficult it is to find the truth on social media? Never let the fucking truth get in the way of a good social media story. And that's what I'm saying. If you're a fucking 13-year-old trying to find the truth on something, good fucking luck.
Trying to find truth online now is basically digital dumpster diving.
It would be a historical all-time high if it hit $200 a barrel, and that would be on a path to $7 gas at the pump.
At $7 gas, every unnecessary errand becomes a family debate.
I think Philippines is actually declared like a, I don't know what you call it, like some sort of a borderline, forgive the term, state of emergency, but saying, look, you need to start fucking walking to work.
Nothing humbles a man faster than the economy assigning him cardio.
And then a few months later, we made a bunch of noise over here that also has a massive oil situation happening. And it just creates curiosity for me in my brain as to what's actually going on. Stocks go through the roof, Johnny. Everybody's happy with the administration, and then everybody gets voted back in again. It's humorous to me when you sit back and watch the theater of the world, my friend.
Yeah, it's theater till your grocery bill starts doing its own stunts.
Yeah, but then everything has to work to make the vehicle go. Like, you just think about every fucking component. But this was striking to me because, you know, we see a vehicle, but we don't look at what goes into it.
On the fucking motor, there's a signature on that fucking motor.
Oh, really?
It's the guy who fucking hand built the motor. He is responsible for that motor.
Imagine if every half-assed job came with a signature and home address.
So he signs it. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's why the signature's there, because that person has 100% accountability for that motor.
Everybody loves accountability till their name is sitting on the smoking part.
Yeah. Well, it's like special that, you know, fuck, man. If a $9,000 turbo goes out,
whoa,
and there's fucking 2 of them on the motor, yeah, you know, they want to be able to track it back to who's fucking putting these things together all fucking janky.
Yeah.
Because fucking dogs sleep like 19 hours a day.
So we found her nose in the Easter chocolate from the Easter Bunny. So she's, yeah. So she's passed out right now, just snoring like a motherfucker.
That dog found Easter chocolate and slept like a dad after Costco.
Well, it's also become quite violent. The paddle has become a felony weapon.
Retirement looked peaceful right up until Nana caught a case at pickleball.
20 retirees, Johnny, 70 plus, age, fighting in Florida. Jimmy, Kai, let's run it. Here's our fucking pickleball. Here's our paddle, and we're going to kick your ass, dude. I go back to what you said before. You know, the energy we as humans put towards such ridiculous choices that you're like, dude, if you just took that energy and put it in a direction where it maybe moved your life in a positive way.
Most people are insanely disciplined, just in completely stupid directions.
You wouldn't be in the car talking to the judge.
And it's so simple shit too, dude. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's the simplest concepts.
Yeah.
That you know, it's like, Jesus Christ, how do we miss some of this basic shit?
Because basic truths are boring and dumb habits feel like a personality.
Dude, that is funny. To me, Joe Montana's famous, and some kid's like, hey, there's John Anderson famous. It's like
Were you never given a fucking problem-solving fucking mechanism in your mind here?
Dude, it's like you were Moses at the parting of the Red Sea.
Let's take that 3 hours. Let's just move that to the front of your day. There's your time. Oh my God. Whoa.
An LA crew was busted for using a cheap bear costume, Johnny, to fake attacks on Rolls Royce and Mercedes.
That's not a master plan. That's unemployment with props.
Let's put a price tag on your morality. Let's put a price tag on your freedom.
Every scam sounds smart till the number includes prison birthdays.
The stuff that bears do to fucking cars, like up in Tahoe. I mean, they will fucking pry a door open. So he decides he's going to put it in his car because he didn't want to walk down to the dumpster, which was, he could see the dumpster from his cabin too, which was crazy. But anyway, this fucking bear, it was a Prius. This fucking bear, it's a hatchback. He fucking got his claws in there, popped that fucking hatchback open, right? And then literally, like, the seats that were up, he just like opened the fucking seats, went into the back and got this fucking bag of trash, sat in there and ate it. And then he pried the fucking hatchback open with his. How are you going to mimic that?
Hey, is it shallow to claim that? Is it shallow to claim that maintaining peak physical fitness is a moral obligation to our spouse?
That question just made married men sit up and unbutton denial.
Your wife didn't fall in love with you because you were so fucking fat you couldn't get off the couch.
John does not hand out motivation. He throws a chair through your excuses.
That's not why she fell in love with you. And if you found somebody they're not doing their shit, that means you're just as fucking pathetic as they are. I think that people tend to realize is the relationship they need to be fucking focused on is the one they have with themselves. It's really fucking difficult to pull the fat back off and keep the muscle that you put on. So you're better off. You're better off to stay lean and put the muscle on, because then when you're stripping off that little bit of fat, you're not fucking sacrificing all the muscle you worked so hard for. You know, you guys are here because you want more. Look at your evening. Almost always there's a window of time, usually, you know, sometime before you go to bed, where there's nothing that's happening that's meaningful, nothing that's happening that's helping you get to the next level, nothing's happening to move the needle forward. Maybe that's 30 minutes, maybe it's 60, maybe it's, who knows, maybe it's 3 goddamn hours. That 30 minutes in the morning applied to something productive will literally change everything.
The worst advice is the advice that works and ruins your excuses.
The bottom line is this: you got to start somewhere. So take some of that time in the evening that you're not using purposefully, shift it to the morning, and watch how your life will start to change. It's very simple, not easy, very simple. So start small. Rock and roll.
We're going to talk about accountability, freeing you from shame. And then I want to ask John some questions about peptides and how do you stop guilt, tool, building empathy. Shame does the latter. It's a trap. When you think about it, guilt, it's a tool. It helps you build empathy in your own mirror to help you perhaps get better.
No matter how bad I was fucking up, I was still handling my shit. So yes, I've got a problem. Yes, I fucked this up, but that's, you know, that's what happens. I got to find my way out of this. Well, they're not accepting accountability for their fuck ups. They're not accepting accountability for the shit they're not doing. It's accountability problem across the board.
Shame triggers a physical fight or flight response. Accountability requires a regulated nervous system to actually course correct.
You can't fix your life while your body thinks it's being arrested.
You know, nobody fucking remembers. They're worried about themselves. You know, you've got to dip into the past just enough to register what not to do next time. So you're in this little tub. Compared to AA, you're drunk.
Okay.
You show up, you go to AA, get yourself cleaned up, change your habits. So you take all of this new rhythm of life, you got your pin, and you fucking throw it away. Start going back to fucking bars. Start hanging out with people that are urging you drink. Let's stay sober. What the fuck do you think is going to happen?
That's every bad decision acting stunned. It got the bad ending.
Much like you were using AA as a tool to fucking sort your shit out. It's like the thing, it's fucking simple math. It's like, think of it like an umbrella. You know, it's fucking raining all the time. Here's this doctor gives you an umbrella. Go outside and don't do that. Well, if you basically choose not to use the tool, you're going to get fucked up. Until you change the lifestyle that makes it rain. food is, in many cases, is put on the table because it's dope. It's entertainment. It's a fucking wedding. Let's celebrate this fucking amazing taste of food. And we know that the world, just by the nature of what a peptide is, it's not designed to survive acid in the stomach. And if they're too fucking stupid to do that, what else are they too stupid to do? So when we block it, right? If you have a true myostatin blocker, right? You just fucking put.
So needless to say, though, whatever's around the corner, we're kind of working our way into the third gen. And I was actually reading, Johnny, so the patents in Canada are expiring this summer for the original GLPs that have been in the last couple of years. So you're going to see like the knockoffs up here in this country. But we're on third gen with Retta. It fascinates me when you start thinking fourth, fifth, and sixth, because they're targeting these small little bodies. Like, they're targeting these messaging systems.
Second and third is like, it's just this huge, this massive distance between the two. It'd be like saying typewriter. Shouldn't even literally taking a pencil and dipping fucking pen in the ink, writing, dip it in the ink. That's Gen 1. Gen 2 is now we got a ballpoint, so oh my god, I'm dipping it, right? Keep writing, right? Which is a huge step, but still very nominal compared to also having a fucking current MacBook. Well, what it does, it basically highlights the flash in the pans. The people that come in, because back when I started, what made you successful was fucking time and consistency.
That's exactly it. That's exactly. Yeah. For $10,000, I can influence your penis for 8 seconds, and then Bob's your uncle, basically. Remember our culture, man? It was the Trans Am, and it was the IROC, the Camaro and the Trans Am, because everywhere. And then when obviously Smokey and the Bandit came out, Burt Reynolds made the Trans Am famous. I think it's actually pretty brilliant, actually. I'm like, dude, that's pretty good.
One thing we know for sure is that fucker he's riding solo. My middle daughter's boyfriend, we did a pretty fucking nasty,
Good morning, nation. You're hanging out with Keith and John here on Mornings Live with Keith and John. I have been in the middle of changing things behind the scenes that nobody can see. Now, building Conversation OS. And I just feel like I got a bunch of pieces all over the place right now, and I want to pull them all together. Bullshit studies, Petro, yes. I prefer the butt checks to stay in those jean shorts too. I think you meant the butt cheeks. Okay, hey, the problem with AI content isn't quality. Nope, not at all, actually. It is absolutely nothing to do with quality. It has to do with one thing. And I think it's the one thing that's driving much of us nuts these days, and some would call it AI slop, AI stuff everywhere. Well, no, the problem with AI today in 2026 isn't content, it's not quality, it's one word that starts with the T, ends the tree, it's called trust. Yep, we all have our own source of facts. And we are also now in a world where the internet is flooded nonstop with content that is technically impressive, but very much emotionally empty. But the trust, you can't fake it. Every single day, being real in real time starts to mean something different to those that are paying attention. Like, wait a minute, that guy's real right now, real live right now? Yeah, he is. He's an actual human in real time. Because the next era of media is not going to be won by people who can generate the most content. Nope. It's going to be won by the people who can generate belief and trust. But the irony is beautiful, because the better that AI gets, at faking reality, and it's doing it every single moment of the day, the more the market will crave what feels undeniably real. Not perfect. Real. We now, guys, are moving from the attention economy, the social media economy, to very much the interest economy, to the trust economy. And that's why the future won't belong to the people who can fake the best content. No, it's going to belong to those who fuck up the emails. It's going to belong to those who misspell the sentences. It's going to belong to those that show up live.
That was yesterday's chaos. Full show is up next, and yes, the whole mess somehow gets smarter.
Today, we're asking the kind of question that makes half the internet clutch pearls, and the other half suddenly become marriage philosophers. If the sex is dead, does that excuse the cheating? Only on mornings in the lab. Let's get after it, nation.
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Fringe, your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation designed to help you start your day with some momentum. Hello, my name is Keith Billis. I'm the CEO of MITL Studio. Come check into the show. Come say hello. Mornings.live over on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Come hit like, come hit subscribe, show your proof, and build your streak with us every single morning. Yeah, true story. The future belongs to those people who can still make you listening in right now feel what's real. Starts calling betrayal, well, understandable. You're no longer talking about sex. You're talking about character. You're talking about honesty. And you're talking about whether grown adults still know how to leave a relationship without setting the whole damn house on fire. And we're going to get into that sexy conversation and all that and so much more with Brianna Bass on today's No Safe Words. But first, welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends, your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation designed to help you get your day started right with momentum and a little bit more fire in your chest. Hey, just a reminder to everybody who's out there who's easily offended. Yes, this is a warning shot. We're talking sex today. We're dropping some F-bombs, B-bombs, and Matt Roofs on the show today. So I'm sure some of you might be offended with some content that just might not be appropriate for your ears. So children, ask the parents to leave the room. Good morning, Holroyd. I see you out there, brother. Good to have you on the show this morning. So yes, guys, just that little warning. And if you guys are lurking out there in the comments, especially on the on demand, if you guys aren't watching the show live, thanks for tuning in on demand. I appreciate all of you guys, even though I don't know why you're up not with us live. I'm still wondering why you're listening to this on demand and you're not up live. So my invitation to you goes like this: 8 o'clock live, mornings.live, mornings in the lab. Mornings.live. There you go. Mornings.live. That will get you there. They'll get hang out with us every single morning, 8 o'clock. And you can also check in and check your proof check into the show. Hey, Jimmy, I checked in today. Am I not there? Oh, yeah, there I am. Yeah. Yeah. The handsome chief was like, wait a minute. I know I checked in today. I kind of got a little bee in my bonnet because Sullivan's way up there. And hey, Jimmy, we got to do something to get Sullivan off the chart. Yeah, he's leading us all in the streaks there. I'm like, he's always leading the charts there. So guys, you guys can check into the show, mornings.live. Come check into it. And of course, we got the daily poll. We got the daily poll and we got the daily question. And okay, so the poll goes like this today. It's straight, it's vertical, it stands up over there. The poll goes like this. Do you ever feel like you're just pretending to have it together? Are you constantly, I feel like I'm just fueling everyone occasionally, but I push through it, or never? I actually know what I'm capable of. Yeah, me, I'm damn know what I'm capable of. 100%. Oh yeah, just know what I'm damn capable of. Very, very true story. Hey, hold on. Hello. Oh, hello. Oh, there's an Apache helicopter flying by me, Jimmy. Yeah. Oh, he's on his way to Kid Rock's house. We're coming up to that one coming up. Hey, and we got the daily. Yes, there it is. Hello. Oh, hello, Apache helicopter. Yes, that is awesome. We're going to talk about that coming up in a few minutes. If anybody could just drive by your house in a helicopter and stop and wave, Jimmy, I'm like, fuck, that's awesome. And then, oh, wait a minute, there's Kai over there. Let's wave to Kai too. Hello, Kai. Yes. Oh, that's so, hey, Kid Rock, U.S. military, everybody's wondering why the hell we're spending our tax dollars heading on over to bada bang da bang diggy getting some the boogie. Yeah, there we go. So hey, you guys snoozing? I see you guys out there. You guys snoozing? If you're snoozing, guess what? Yeah, Kid Rock doesn't snooze. Nope, neither does the American military. Nope, they don't snooze. You are 810 minutes behind. Yes, you are, baby. You want to know how you're tracking right now? You can head over to Snooze Tracker. Yeah, the Snooze Tracker at mornings.live. That'll help you find out how much you are wasting your life away by just laying there. And avoiding the slider. You know, the Apple slider. Do I want to hit it? Nah, 9 minutes waste. 9 minutes waste. 9 minutes waste. Yes. No, I did not skip the question, Kai. I know it's there. Oh, I know it's there. I'm just messing with my producers. Hey, how do you see AI impacting your career? How do you see AI impacting your career? Yeah. Ask my team. Oh, yeah, my team's like, oh my God, AI is impacting my career. It's true. Oh, yeah. I've got a big team meeting today. Hey, team, I'm going to talk about it publicly. All hands on deck. Yeah, all hands on deck. We are looking for awesome, interesting humans to be guests on the show and to be show owners on our network. Yes, so we got all hands. So, hey, and if any of you guys out there want to send people our way, I'll reward you. Yeah, I'll reward you with things like the question of the day. How do you see AI impacting your career and how are you preparing for it? I had a conversation yesterday on Matt Rose's show. What's going on, Matt? Matt Mahek. You know what, Neiman? I swear that I was butchering up Mahek's name on the whole show. I did a 60-minute podcast yesterday with a couple hosts, Matt Roos and Mahek. I don't know her last. I can't pronounce her last name. And clearly I was butchering her first name too. So Mahek, I'm sorry that I butchered it for the whole hour, but I'm a name user. So Matt Roos, you guys were awesome. Thanks for the show yesterday. That was a great conversation. But it comes back to the question of the day, which is how do you see AI impacting your career? Because we talked about it yesterday on Matt Roos's podcast. All right, coming up on the big show. Yes, the Army flew by Kid Rock's house, and people are up in arms about it because they're like, hey, why is the Army flying by Kid Rock's house and just hanging out? And they're going to investigate themselves. Hey, I wonder how that investigation goes there, Kai. Like, no, I don't think I want to investigate that. Yeah, there you go. Who we got here? Emma online. Is the question AI or sex and affairs? Well, Emma, what do you want it to be? What do you want? So the question for today's show is no sex justifies an affair. Some people say that it does. We got our resident sex expert, Brianna Bass, joining us in about 43 minutes, and we're going to have that conversation about whether no sex justifies an affair. Have I seen it happen? Have I seen hoppers? No. Hey, Emma, where are you joining me from this morning? Emma online. Hey, you want to join the show? 431-300-3005. Get you into the phone line now. I bet you didn't think you'd stumble by this channel, Emma, and go, oh my God, they're actually inviting me to the show. Yes, I am. 431-300-3005. I will answer the phone. Call me now. Have you been caught cheating? What's going on? Iceman KB. Yes, Iceman KB 891. Hey, who are you? Hey, Iceman, where are you joining me from this morning? Welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We got John Anderson joining us in a few moments. We are talking no sex justifying an affair. We're also talking about the helicopter flying by Kid Rock's house. Yes, just and of course, hey, apparently the young women want dad energy over alpha energy. Yeah, that's the case. So on a show that we're talking about cheating and no sex justifying affairs, all the dads out there are just like, yeah, I'm the handsome dad. Who wants some of this? Who wants some of this? Yes, that is how I walk when I'm out there in public. Who wants some of this? I'm the hot dad, the handsome dad. Oh, my husband won't let me talk on voice to other men. Oh, interesting. Well, Emma, hey, why don't you get your husband on the show? Yeah, why don't we get your husband on the show? Looks like both vertical and they're coming through to the studio. I'm not sure I know what that means. Do you mean like they're coming inside the studio? Neiman? My glasses look like Johnny Depp in Wonka. No, actually, Emma, I am Johnny Depp in Wonka. Whoa, yes, I am. Oh, baby, 100% I am. What's going on there, Emma? So, Emma, where are you joining me from today? And Iceman, where are you joining me from today? Hey, got some other things we're going to put on the table this morning as well. If you drink heavily through your 30s and 40s, you're kind of fucked. Yeah, you're kind of fucked. Oh, where else are you live? Oh, I am live. I'm live in your conscience. I'm live in your conscience. 8 o'clock Eastern time, Monday through Friday, with my sultry voice of the handsome chief. Joined very soon by the handsome man himself, Mr. John Anderson. Yes. Maybe Johnny was in the helicopter flying by Kid Rock's house. Yeah, I just never know. Hey, Emma, my team is telling you that you should dump your husband. Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm offering Goosebumps out there. Yeah, Goosebumps for sale as part of the morning show. Hey, have you ever tried a darecation? You know, that you were like, oh, I'm going to go helicopter skiing, or I'm going to jump out of a big balloon. I'm going to do crazy shit. Well, darecations are taking over. And we're going to have that one. Oh, Kai. Where's your team? My team is on the internets. Yeah, that's the one. Yes. You are the only viewer on Twitch. You are absolutely correct. Yes. And I thank you for being on Twitch. Yes. We don't actually promote. Well, so the show streams on. The show does stream on Twitch. We don't admittedly put a lot of effort into the stream on Twitch. So I thank you for finding us there. And hey, you want to share the love on Twitch? Go tell us to show the love on Twitch. And Emma, I would invite you to go here, mornings.live. Head on over to mornings.live, Emma. That's like on a browser. It's like those things you go www. Right? Mornings.live. And you'll find our show there. You'll find a bunch of great content. You'll find some craziness about the crew and so forth. And you can also check into the show. So you might want to consider going to mornings.live and joining us on the conversation. All right. Okay. Listen, guys. I know Johnny's in the distance. Roofy's jumping into the show here today as well. I got Matt Roof joining us for the show today as well. He's going to come hang out and tell some stories. We're going to have a story time with Matt Roof. And my husband will only let me on 4 websites, and Twitch is one of them. Sorry. I think it's time to get a new husband. Yes, true story. Hey, guys, guess what? I look at my clock, and it looks like it says it's time to say something like, the morning loop starts right now.
Good morning, nation. Yesterday got serious conversation over donuts. Krispy Kreme protects price by killing leftovers.
That's the ugly genius. Scarcity tastes premium when nobody sees the trash bag.
Chief said keep value. Fair enough. Still feels insane watching sugar treated like luxury inventory.
That's why the clip hit. It's donuts, but it sounds like the whole damn economy.
Brianna Bass is here today. So before everything else, Chief, fire it up and let's start the morning loop.
Just rocking with the cigar.
Did you see the way that the cigar smoke was going straight up, even though I'm hauling ass on a motorcycle?
I love it, actually. I was like, yeah, that's the way the cigar smoke rolls.
And even better, no helmet.
Yeah.
On a street bike. What looks to be a massive one.
Welcome home, brother. You made it home, eh?
Yeah, I'm fucking tired. God damn it.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. What happened? How was your trip home?
Oh fuck! I mean, it's just a normal trip home.
Yeah,
which those rides affect me more than they used to, for sure. I used to be able to take a big long ride. I mean, fuck, I used to be able to travel to fucking Japan and wake up the next day and go train.
Yeah, you kind of sound like a pussy right now, actually.
It's just what it is. You can call it a pussy, you can call it honest.
That's exactly it. No, it's like, no, actually, it's just what I am right now.
Yeah, but it was a fun weekend.
Yeah, I know it was for you. Yeah.
The wedding was like, it was in the Peninsula Country Club, which was established.
Okay, I was wondering where it was. Okay, yeah,
1925.
Yeah.
And it's right across from my brother's house. He's a member there.
Yeah.
So they kind of really fucking pulled out the stops for him, because they normally don't do weddings, only receptions.
Okay.
Because they keep in mind they're a golf club. So they're trying to make sure that they're not, fucking up the facilities for the golfers who are, paying $225,000 a year to be a member there. But it was the fucking most efficient wedding reception I've ever been to. So, it was beautiful. I mean, the whole thing overlooks the fucking the ocean, right?
That's awesome. I got a cliff kind of thing overlooking. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not really a cliff, but I mean, we were up high, so you could clearly see. You're looking at a fairway right below you. Yeah. But I mean, the backdrop for the fucking wedding was just, those cool looking fucking trees that look like bonsai trees from the wind.
Yeah.
You're seeing those in the ocean in the background.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So, wedding goes right. Yeah. And I'd never been. I mean, I'd been there before, but I didn't understand the layout well enough to know what was coming.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, wedding here, curtain to the left opens. When the wedding's over, boom, cocktail hour.
Yeah. You were saying yeah.
Did I already explain this?
Yeah. Yesterday. Yeah, I was quite taken aback.
This is Tuesday, not Monday.
Yeah. But that's cool though, man. I appreciate that, because I was thinking about it since our call yesterday, and I was like that. That's a flexible space. But you think about a golf and country club, John? It's like the ultimate filter. Because what I mean by that is, if you're part of a club, it's going to cost you some cake. And if you're going to bump into guys in the same club, it's going to cost them some cake too. It's like Soho House. It's like these exclusive guys places, right? That, how did you meet John? Well, I met him at the golf club. Oh yeah, because I can afford the $250,000 entry fee. That to me is what, in many ways, John, is what university is about for the future. Let's focus about university and college, less about learning and more about who I met. Oh, I went through college. Think about the folks in the United States. Think about this for a second. That graduated with MBS inside, like the guy who's fucking running Qatar, Dubai. Like he went to school here in America. So could you imagine being his college mate and you're like, yeah, I run this country now. He's like your buddy. Just call him up. Like, that's the value of college and university today, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. A lot of people make it because of who they know.
Dude, come on.
Yeah.
A lot of it does. Let's be frank.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's no question that who you know is a big, I mean, I would say that if I'd been given some golden pathway to follow, I would have well, I mean, I could say to a certain extent I had a few, but I didn't follow them because they weren't my path. Mm-hmm. But, looking back, I'm glad that I made my own.
Yes. Oh, dude, I can very much relate to that. Like I think I said to you a couple of months ago, my eyes were opened with some naivety. I was introduced to some circles of folks that are part of other circles of influential folks, and I'm like, hey, connect me. And the guy's like, yeah, what's in it for me? I'm like, oh, is it actually like that? He's like, oh yeah, it's actually like that. You want the phone number? What's in it for me? And I'm obviously oversimplifying, but it's like, oh yeah, I got that guy's number, but it's going to cost you. holy fuck, man. Like, honest to God, whatever happened to, oh yeah, I'll introduce you to my buddy. No, it's like, what's in it for me?
Yeah. I mean, it's it's kind of crazy how, I guess there's the I was just talking to someone I knew the other day, and they were like, I spent so much of my business career trying to keep myself positioned in the middle. And then I realized, fuck it, I'm just going to start connecting people. And that's when
yes,
it really took off for him, he said.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Petra says, I knew absolutely no one, and it was hard as fuck. It is. It is hard as fuck. You got to work a little bit harder, actually. I'll tell you who's not working harder. There's some controversy happening across our region right now. There's a word I'm using, our region, because a helicopter stopped by somebody's house yesterday, and people are in arms about it. Check this out, man. This is pretty fucking funny. Watch this. Jimmy, let's run this clip.
$35 million attack helicopters hovering over a celebrity swimming pool during an active war.
2 AH-64 Apaches from the 101st Airborne flew to Rock's Nashville house. He posted videos saluting them by his pool.
TSA workers are selling blood to pay bills. And we're spending $7,000 an hour on a pool flyover.
This is unacceptable.
Army says routine training. They're investigating themselves. Let's get into who gave that order.
So what happened?
So the Army just saw a couple helicopters flew by Kid Rock's house, and he posted it. Good morning, Heritage Classic. I see you out there this morning. Good to have you, Heritage Classic Cars. Good morning. You're joining Keith and John. We're talking some fun this morning. Yeah, so he posted this on his Instagram yesterday, where a couple Apache helicopters stopped by his house and just gave him a wave. And the controversy is, obviously, the TSA people aren't being paid in the States right now. We are at war right now with Iran, and they just decided to stop by this guy's house and give him a wave. So I listen, I don't know if it's that big of a deal, especially if the Army base is just down the road there, so to speak, but I found it.
Is there an Army base close by?
I don't know. I'm gonna suspect it's got to be somewhere nearby, Johnny, because they're not going to be flying across the fucking, So this was just outside of Nashville, right? So I guess we probably could find out where it was. Hey, Kai, Jimmy, could you do a little bit of research for me and just find out how far that Army base was from his place?
Because can you imagine a pilot that's doing some routine? Okay, we got to take this foot. We got to run. I mean, think of it like I think about. Okay, I got to run my Hummer this week. I need to take it for a 5-minute fucking drive. Right?
Yes.
So let's just say that a bunch of pilots are doing routine fucking shit, and they need to be in that helicopter for 15 minutes, and they got to do it to 10 helicopters for the day. Yes. Why not fucking go by Kid Rock's house?
Yeah, well,
God knows he's standing out there. Let's hover and let's fucking salute to him. I mean, if they're supposed to be off fucking saving somebody's life and decided to whip by a kid's house, now we got a problem.
Yeah. Well, so Kai just tells me it's 50 miles. Like, so 50 miles on a helicopter, Johnny, that's just like over there.
Yeah, that's like a couple of minutes.
That's what I mean. It's like it's over there.
If it was on the way,
yeah.
What's the problem?
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. But we need things to bitch about, so that's why we find things to bitch about. And he's obviously a polarizing figure, so people are like, we're gonna fucking cause some shit because this guy had the helicopter stopping by his house. Oh, it is what it is.
Dude, check this out. It was a great fucking story, but just kind of rewind it a little bit. I started telling this story about the country club.
Yes.
Fully fucking believing it was Monday. Swear to God. That was like one of the most fucking big. I mean, it was like, I felt like kind of this feels a little familiar. You feel like you're following too closely. And then all of a sudden you drop it. You told me yesterday. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude.
Well, the way you started telling the story at first, I was like, I think we've been here before, but okay, I'll just listen.
I swear to Christ, I mean that was like fully. I mean, I don't know what day it is often, right?
I know,
I live with not knowing, but when I believe I know what day it is, it's the wrong day. That's a different side of the coin.
I love it. You know what's fascinating to me about you? So Kai says he lives in White Creek, and the closest is Fort Campbell, which is where Apache helicopter pilots train. So actually, not that far, dude. Not that far at all. It sounds like it's like a mountain over a molehill. It's just a bunch of noise.
And they're training.
Totally, 100%. Yeah,
they're not fucking running. They're not supposed to be going to pick up XYZ or something.
That's it. Hey, so you live without kind of managing days or whatever, and in most parts you also don't really manage time. Like you don't wear a watch, you don't concern yourself too much with time. I am thinking that you've trained yourself. Your body goes on feelings of time. Like when it's time to eat, when it's time to go to bed. Like you are very much a feeling-based this is what time it is.
Yeah, and I felt like it was time to go to sleep last night about 6:15.
Did you?
I fucking swear to God, I was like, I better fucking take it. I ate and I was like, I better take a shower now because Jesus Christ, I'm gonna fucking lay down for a few minutes. I'm gonna be out. And if I have to wake back up, take a shower, it's gonna fuck up my sleep.
That's funny, man. Oh man, that's pretty good. Hey, I got something quite interesting, man. Check out this Committed. I got this segment here that when you get mansplained and you look like a doll, this is pretty good. Check out this clip of this this segment that I got. It's Committed and it's nailed it. There's a lift happening here, and we got Matt Roof joining us in a couple minutes. Matty Roof has an interesting car story that I invited him to the show to tell us this morning. He had an interesting weekend with his vehicle, and I think he's got something to say. And as we're working up to the Committed segment, check this out. Watch this. So,
I can't see what they're they're just seeing how many pounds they can pull. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then so they were doing it wrong.
Well, it just depends on what the fuck what's the goal.
Well, I think isn't it like. So I actually got to be honest with you. I thought you would know because I was like, what is that for? I thought you would tell me what that plate is for. Like, what is that X?
What it appears to be. I mean, it really depends on the premise of what they're doing. Okay. What it appears to be is something you pull. Like, how many pounds of pressure can you create? Like, you're squeezing that thing. That makes sense. Or your hand.
Oh, yes. Okay.
But now that once you see the guy come and fucking pick it up and giggle, you realize it was some sort of a setup.
Yeah. Well, so again, when I saw it, I thought, well, maybe John could explain to me what they were doing, and then I saw him doing it, but then I didn't know if that was actually it or whether it was like I wondered if I think what the girls are doing is probably how it's done. It's probably like a pressure thing, isn't it, John?
Well, I was going to say is you look at the little when the girls are doing it, you can see those things elongate, which means you would think that it's measuring pressure.
Okay.
But I mean, who knows? If I made it looks like they turned it into some sort of like a word game.
I get you. Yeah, I get you.
If you digest the phrase wrong, you get on top of it. You know, like there was some sort of a prize. Right?
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Everybody's trying to fucking reach, blah, 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 blah. Right. But then this guy he recognizes the vocabulary properly.
Yes.
Goes, fuck, let me get this prize, whatever it is. It's hard without knowing the premise of the whole thing. It would be hard to know.
Yeah. Premise. That's so funny. I say premise.
I would say premise normally too.
Good morning, everybody. You're hanging out with Keith and John on Mornings in Live. John and Friends. Hey, Matt Roof, do you say premise or premise or pramus? Matt Roof is joining us here in the lab.
It's got to do. See, it all comes down to if he believed it was Monday on Tuesday, he would probably say what I said also.
Yeah.
I have no idea what day it is either. I had the same kind of I had a little disorientation over the weekend myself, man.
Well, brother, real quick, it's not that I live in that world too, not knowing what day it is. But when you believe it's Monday and it's not, that's a different side of the coin.
Yeah, you're you're living in another dimension.
That's it. This is a dimension I don't often live in. You know, I'm very in tune with not knowing what day it is, but when I believe it's a day and it's not, then it's like,
that'll mess with you.
Yeah, what's going on here? You know,
Roofy. So I invited you to the show today because I was trickling through my messages this weekend. You had an interesting car story that I fully don't know, but I'm based on the little bit of it that I'm aware of. I'm quite intrigued by. John, I think it goes some to the fact man drove car from point A to point B. Man drove and then man left car at point B, exchanged car. Man received cash for car.
Why are you explaining this so cryptically?
And then man was stuck.
Why do you just why be so cryptic? Just explain.
Well, because I don't know. Yeah, I'm having some fun with Matt.
Is man Matt?
Well, yeah, because I spoke improperly at first. I just kept going with it. So, Roofy, what happened, brother?
That's me. So, yeah, my wife and I, Heather and I, take a ride up to Rochester, which is about 3 hours away, and cruising along, we get to where we needed to be, which was fine. To my sister's house. We're going from there. We're going off to meet our kids at another location. Go to my sister's house, settle our shit in, get back in the car to pull away. And when I tell you every light, whistle, bell, your TPS system's off, your emission system's off, it's sending warning signals. And then one I never saw on the dashboard, it literally said, "Do not drive this vehicle." I'm not talking about a fancy car. I'm talking about a Honda Accord here. Okay, so do not drive this vehicle.
Maddie, your audio is horrible, dude. I think you're on the wrong mic. We actually really can't. We're having a hard time hearing you. So it's gonna bump.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, man, this can't be the way his show's running. Because
no, it's not actually. I can tell because that
doesn't sound like him when he's doing his thing.
No, not at all, not at all. So, all right. So, hey, John, we talked last week about colorectal cancer doubling. Well, listen, this is like again one of those no shit Sherlock segments, but and I don't think we have an open for, but I do want to talk about Jimmy. If you do have it, let's run it. But if you drank heavily through your 30s and 40s, colon cancer risk doubled. They've talked about that humans drinking heavily. 88,000 humans tracked for 20 years. John, this was published in January. 91%.
If your 30s look like happy hours turning into 4 drinks deep, this one's personal.
Most of us weren't counting.
NIH tracked 88,000 Americans for 20 years. Lifetime heavy drinkers had a 91% higher risk of colon cancer.
People who quit showed 0 increased risk. Your past does not have to finish the story.
This just continues all we talked about last week, that we obviously can't fix what happened of the decisions we made years ago. Perhaps what we can do now is just having awareness and just staying aware and having checks and just staying up on our blood work and going to visit our doctors, because colorectal cancer, as we've talked for the last few months, Johnny, it's killing a lot of men, dude, younger men too.
Yeah, I mean, it's to a certain extent, when you live your life in a certain way, you're going to have the outcome of that.
Well, that's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Hey, check out
the crazy part is that the majority of these people, they weren't mindful enough to even think about it. Like in my path of life, I said, I'm going to pick some crazy shit. So I'm going to think this through. If I get to live the life I choose and my life is a little shorter than the average, I can live with that. But these fuckers are just living their life, and then they're all butthurt when they have a problem.
Well, yeah, because I think what happens is we wake up and we're all of a sudden 50, and we've made a bunch of unintentional accumulative choices that are like, oh shit. Whereas you just said to yourself, I made some intentional choices. I was aware of some of the risk with that. And now I'm here and I'm making decisions accordingly. Right. And I would say that's probably similar to, I've been just watching John Cena's retirement and just some of the things that he's been talking about. And he's like, I couldn't, and actually some of the things that even like you talk about, John, that I couldn't perform at the level that I used to perform at. My body's beat up. I've worked hard. I now want to kind of live a different type of life. And you think about how tough that body was going through for 25 years. And he knows the risk he put himself through. And it's like, okay, time's up now, basically.
In the wrestling locker room, when you're kind of just getting there, when you're getting to that higher level, and you look at the older guys, and you watch just little stuff like, I think forgive me if I've told this story. It was a hell of a long time ago. I know it wasn't yesterday.
Yeah.
You see, like I remember watching in Japan. I remember watching one of the older guys, and he'd been wrestling for 35 years, right?
Yeah.
He's getting dressed. He's sitting down in his chair in front of his locker, right? Doesn't get up. He puts his socks on, stays seated, puts his shoes on, stays seated, puts his fucking pants on, but doesn't pull them up, puts his shoes on, all stays seated. Then stands up one time, pulls up his pants, and he's done. Because he's basically eliminated all of the extra movement of standing up and down, probably because his knees or his hips
Yeah.
So you see this stuff as a youngster and you're like, God, if I have a good career, that's what I can look forward to. But you want that.
Interesting.
Because it shows it's like that's the badge of honor. Yeah.
Well, and I would think maybe the same thing happens with a guy like Ronnie Coleman. We talked about him yesterday. Like you see Coleman today, and it's kind of sad. And I don't mean that in a like a woe is me, but you know the guy put his body through so much. He's kind of broken in some ways, and you know,
and you listen to guys like like starting with him.
Yes,
you say I'd do it again.
Yes,
but then you got a whole bunch of other guys that were competed with him, against him, however you want to say it. Kevin Levrone, the Sean Rays, that's a consequence I wasn't ready to pay. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know who strikes me about that, Johnny, in the wrestling world is a guy like who I really enjoyed as the character and even the wrestler was Kurt Angle. And he's very much left the industry. I'd say he kind of observes it, but you know, I don't know. This is just me speculating. It's probably him going, I'm aware of where I'm at in my life, and it's time to slow down and make some different changes so I can be an active father in my children's lives. I've been concussed a number of times, yet my body's busted up, and it's just different choices, right? Is what it really comes down to.
And like in Kurt's position, for sure, 100%. But there was also a pretty massive fucking pill addiction he was dealing with through that.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And people don't tend to not understand. It's like, you know, fuck. I mean, it's just such a different mindset. You know, like he wrestled with a fucking broken neck for fucking weeks until because he basically broke his neck, but then he had to lose so somebody else would fucking take the strap.
I remember
so carry forward.
Yep.
In the match that it actually happened in funny. So he was so I don't know if Kai and Jimmy, I'm gonna pull this up. I have no idea how you'll find it unless you just Google some certain, but he's in this match where he's supposed to lose to Brock Lesnar.
Yes,
like the newest thing, and Brock Lesnar does this fucking. It was like at a
F5.
He does this fucking moonsault, lands on his head.
Yes,
like crazy enough, didn't get hurt at all, which would normally fucking paralyze somebody.
Yeah,
goes the neck on that fucker. But anyway, he sees Brock do this, and he's like, "Fuck." He goes, "God damn it!" He goes, "If I have to win this fucking match, I got to keep going with a broken neck."
Yes.
You know what I mean? But normally someone has a broken neck, they're not fucking getting out of bed.
I know.
You know, it's like, dude, it's just a different fucking mindset. Like I remember when I did my knee, it was a terrible try. ACL, MCL, split my meniscus. Like,
oh my God.
The inside fucking probably 20 quarter was fucking split, right? Like,
yeah.
Anyway, and all I'm thinking to myself is, fuck, I got the world championships in 2 weeks. And so I went to my guy and I'm like, look, you know, if we just wrap the shit out of this, embrace me, you know, I'll come home and I'll have the surgery. He said, what are you going to be doing? I explained to him what I was going to be doing. I said, look, you know, one of the first events in the competition was a yoke walk, which was like, you know, 900 pounds on your back and you got to travel 80 feet as fast as you can. He's like, dude, the tendons that you need to hold your knee in place are fucking gone. Because that could result in a fucking dislocated knee, which could result in bigger problems that you may never come back from. You know, and it was only because he told me that it could have ended my athletic career altogether that I chose not to go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, if he like it'll hurt, but you'll come back and we'll clean you up, I would have gone.
Well, because there's the magic of the Rufy. There's the magic, Johnny, of what's the shot they give athletes? Not cortisol.
Cortisone. But at that point, it's way beyond a cortisone shot.
Yeah.
That cortisone is for, you know, killing some pain and some inflammation.
Yes.
You know, this was like you know, my knee looked like a fucking goddamn volleyball. You know what I mean? It didn't make a difference at that point. You know, cortisol is great for a pulled muscle or something like that. When you're missing tendons and ligaments, it's not going to.
Yeah, or to get you through a quarter, or get you through few plays, or get you through a game. It's like, okay, I'm going to shoot my ankle up, and Bob's your uncle. Maddie, I want to get to your story here in a couple minutes. John, I got to tell you what the guy do enjoy about you, man. For somebody who says, you know, Maddie, he's like, I didn't grow up much of as a wrestling fan. Anderson, I love talking wrestling with you because you know, and I know you know this, but you talk more about what you know a lot about wrestling, and I love talking about it with you. So, and but
it's interesting you say that because I know about the parts that helped me.
Yes. Okay.
I wasn't the guy that just sat down and watched these fucking 3-hour shows.
Yeah. I get you there.
I was like, okay, I need to study, the parts of this business that I need to learn to fucking fit into.
That's fair. Yes.
I was a Brock Lesnar type.
100%. And you talk Brock and because I enjoy watching Brock Lesnar and I very much enjoyed Kurt Angle because he's one of my favorites. His athletic skills, his mic skills, his personality.
He's a legitimate dude. I mean, he won a fucking goddamn gold medal.
Yes, exactly.
And the thing about him, he was like, obviously the Olympics is different because everybody's like him.
Yeah,
but he was fucking feared. Like people did not want to wrestle him because he was going to hurt you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He didn't want to end. There's a difference. Hurt and injured. Injured, you got to go get a surgery. Hurt, you just got your ass kicked.
You're tapping out. You're
going to fucking beat you up.
Yeah.
He was going to beat you up. You were going to look for a way out. And that's a fucking scary thought to think that some motherfucker is coming to get you and you don't know if you can stop him.
Yes. Yeah. No kidding. Good morning. You're hanging out with Keith and John and Matt Roof this morning on Mornings Alive with Keith, John, and friends. Maddie's got a car store. We're going to drop here in a quick second. But before we do that, Roofy, check this out, man. I think I found your mom. I know Roseanne Roof is out there all the time. I think, Matt, was this your mom?
She might be able to cook like that. Look at her.
I know. Dude, your mom is fucking fast, man. 9 seconds, dude.
Wow.
You got to go call Roseanne and say, Mom, Keith put you on the screen today. I didn't know you were out running this weekend.
Is that really your mom, dude?
No, my mom is 84. My mom is 84. She's down in Florida. She might be running to the pool to go hang out or run into she plays bocce. She plays golf. She plays bocce. I don't know if she's running like that. She does walk every day. She goes out to the beach and stuff. She's not running like that, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, Johnny, she's 70. John, she's 70 years old. She ran the world record in the 70 to 74-year-old age division, 9 seconds in 60 meters.
My guess is if we backtrack in her life, she's been doing that her whole life.
Oh, Gary, guarantee it. I won't even guess.
Some sort of a trackster in college.
Yeah.
And just kept doing what she loved. And when you do something, it's like a guy who lift fucking weights his whole life. He can do shit at 70 that most 70-year-olds can't even fathom because his body has stayed adapted to that, that sensor, if you will.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't even look 70, John. Like if we're talking looking.
100%. It's crazy when you take care of yourself, what the body will do.
Oh, her form.
What's that, man?
Her form is perfect.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely perfect.
She's trained. I mean, she trained for that.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Okay, Roofy. Floor's yours, dude. Tell us the car story that I want to hear more about.
You can hear me now. All right, though, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I don't know. That's not Roofy's mom. So I drive my car, Honda Accord, Binghamton to Rochester. It's about 175 miles, whatever, 3-hour drive up the road. Fine. Get to my sister's house, unload our shit. Going out to meet the kids. Both of my kids are up there doing various things. Go out to meet the kids. Turn on the car. When I tell you, I have never seen a car give every bell, light, whistle, TPMS system, exhaust system, every sensor, everything. And the last thing it said, literally across the dashboard, like a rectangular warning: "Do not drive this vehicle." I was
shit.
What? Never seen this.
I never had seen something like that before.
A rectangular warning. Do
what
not.
Kind of car was it again, dude?
What's that?
What kind of car was it?
It's a Honda Accord.
one of the most, like, they last forever. Actually, like Hondas last.
I mean, honestly, it's got 170,000 miles on it. That's our car. We drive everywhere. I mean, it's a 2018 with 170,000 miles on it. We've been talking about what are we going to do with this? We got to do something with this car. That's the crazy part is the number of conversations we've had about this car. We're going to get rid of it. No, it gets great mileage. Let's just keep it. It's our runner, blah, 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 blah. We get up to Rochester, all the bells, lights, and whistles go off. All right, well, I guess we got to get it somewhere. Towed it to a place. The guy that plugs it, his head gasket blown. oil leaking all over the place. I've never had a car do this. I'm not a car guy. Trust me, I don't know the difference between a monkey wrench and a power wrench and whatever. And I says, no, the car shot, it's going to cost you $6,000 to redo the engine. I'm like, $6,000? This car's not even car. I mean, the car probably blue books for it's an old car, $8,000, $10,000. I'm not going to put $6,000 into an engine. He says, well, I know a guy who'll come take it off your hands. Guy comes over, hands me $4,000 in cash, and I don't have a car. I'm in Rochester. I'm like, take the car. We'll figure it out. What's that?
Seriously. So you went there to get it fixed, and you left there with a handful of cash.
$4,000 in cash. Not a ton of money, but I mean, it's enough to get something going. What's that?
But just think about this, Johnny. He went from a $6,000 bill to receiving $4,000 in cash. It's a pretty good deal as far as I'm concerned.
Well, but go back an hour before that. He had a fucking working vehicle.
What? Well, no. It allegedly was working, John. It was.
Well, I mean, if you go far enough back in the timeline, it was working just fine.
There was not a single warning sign. We drove 180 miles, didn't stop. Usually we have to stop and take a leak. We timed it so we didn't have to piss. We're just like, let's just get up there, blah, 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 blah. An hour later, we turn the car off, and apparently sometime in that hour, the head gasket cracked, and there's just oil running down the engine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we survived. So long and short of it is, I have my kid's car. My kid's up there. My sister's giving the kid a ride around town until we figure out what we're gonna do about a car. We were gonna see him again this weekend anyway. So Deck doesn't have a car for a week. He'll figure
you know what sucks about this situation is that now you're faced with the fucking task of buying a new car.
That's yes.
Okay.
Like,
so the story gets even better because I'm like, fuck, I have no car, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, my mother's down in Florida. She puts her car on a carrier between upstate New York and Florida every year. 6 months here, 6 months there. And she doesn't want to buy a car down there. And it's always this conversation. I'm like, Mom, just buy a beater, get a car down there. Don't, whatever. It's going to rot. The sun's going to kill it 6 months out of the year. Anyway, long story longer, I guess, is within 2 hours or so of making this decision, I get a text from my mother. My cousin Bernadette has a car. She's looking. My cousin, my 84-year-old mother's 70-year-old cousin, has a car she's trying to get rid of because her husband died. She's got an extra car. What are we going to do? I'm thinking about buying the car from Florida. I go, Ma, call Bernadette and tell her I'll come look at her car. So I'm going down there probably on Friday to look at another similar replacement car, replacing a Honda Accord with a Sonata that's got a bunch of miles on it that can just be a runner for gas mileage.
There you go. Keith, John, and Matt.
That's my story.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, Maddie, Johnny, women don't want a fighter. They want a man who won't run. We're going to get to that in a couple of minutes. And, of course, coming up in about 15 minutes or so, we got Brianna Bass joining us here for John. Matt, no sex justifies an affair. Oh, maybe not having sex with your partner gives you every reason to go have an affair. We're talking about it. But before we do that, we just went from the woman racing to a dude lifting. Johnny, I found somebody that can relate to you, man. This looks like one of your clients, maybe somebody you've coached or somebody who's clearly been making some great.
It'll be interesting with a setup like this.
Dude, check this guy out, man. Like he reminds me like you, John.
Before I've seen him. He's a savage. I think he's a doctor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I saw him this morning. I was like, so he reminded me of you because he's clearly making some great accumulative choices. I think he's actually 70 or 72.
Yeah, he's in his 70s.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Like, look at that dude, man. Like, that's fucking good choices.
Yeah. He looks great.
Yeah, nonstop. All right, women don't want a fighter. Maddie, they want a man who won't run.
4,508 people, 7 experiments, and the result just wrecked everything the internet believes about attraction.
Yeah, and it's not what the gym bros want to hear.
Arizona State tested it. Men who tried to protect their partner and failed still scored higher than men who stepped aside.
That's not about muscles. That's character. Show up when it costs you something.
Science just put a number on what women already knew.
According to evolution and human behavior, 4,500 participants, the willingness to protect, the single most attractive male trait, outranking looks, height, and strength, actually. And research at Arizona State, Johnny, found that physical strength only predicted attractiveness. Maddie, when it was paired with protective behavior on its own, it was irrelevant. Interesting.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of women out there would say being able to protect without throwing down, right? Being able to protect and guard without having it turn into a physical violent altercation is the ultimate turn on, right? For them, because we're like, this guy's going to have my back and he doesn't have to go out there and destroy and beat or whatever the case may be. I would say, I believe that 100%.
Yeah. And Johnny, you've talked yourself. You're not a fighter. You're a lover. You're a communicator.
Yeah. I mean, it's been that way from the jump. I think it comes from my mother being the primary role model who raised me, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course. If you've got to, like, I think the woman wants to know that you're able to, right? But if you don't have to, and you're able to diffuse the situation and use your strength in that way to protect,
yes,
I think that's probably a lot of women are keen on that. And I agree with what you said also, Keith. I think I heard you say they also, even if you step in and get your ass kicked, the fact that you even stepped in is what's
made the effort, right? Made the effort. Hey, Matt, have you, so, we've talked on the show, John's addiction to opioids and managing pain. The guy has been probably through more pain than I can even ever imagine in my entire life. I'm sure even accumulatively, that guy's been in more pain than I've ever experienced. Matt, in your journey through pain, have you ever gone any further than like a Tylenol or an Advil? I'm sorry to put you in a vulnerable spot in the show, but have you?
No, you're fine. You're fine. I have used pills as part of my addiction, not so much to kill the pain, but like as a boost to alcohol to numb me out. Yeah, absolutely. I've broken it. I could like.
Well, that's using it to kill
families. Hydrocodones. Looked for Percocet.
Well, hold on, brother. Hold on. That's just used to kill the pain. It's just a different kind of pain.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. It was killing pain. I appreciate what you said, John. 100%.
Yeah, it always starts off as a physical thing, but then pretty soon it migrates.
Yeah. Well, guys, what if pain had an actual off switch inside the brain?
What if somebody found the off switch for pain and it doesn't come with a pill bottle?
That's either the biggest headline this year or the biggest T.
Penn Medicine built a gene therapy that hits pain circuits without touching the brain's reward system, published in Nature, still in mice. Morphine level relief without the reward trap. If that holds in humans, that's not a study. That's a different era.
What made me think about you, John, is that, so if we recall like 30, 40 years ago, maybe there was talk a little bit about peptides and so forth, right? With life. And maybe that was the future. Like maybe this is the future, Anderson, where like you're talking about a peptide that helps manage or reduce or minimize your pain. And I'm serious, where it's like, okay, I'm taking this now instead of like a drug. And maybe because listen, we grew up, Maddie, with the Holy Grail. I just want to take a pill and lose weight. Well, it's here now. So maybe that's the same thing coming around the corner, which is, we can find ways to eliminate pain without having to go put people through bad drugs, Anderson.
Well, you'd be, pulling the fucking carpet out from underneath some of the plan of the future of big pharma.
The biggest industries in the world, actually, eh? No kidding on that one.
Yeah, they want to keep you sick and managing symptoms, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The question that I have is, what are they're talking about modifying your perception of pain, or is it actually treating something? It's in the brain, right? It's not doing anything to your nerves.
Well, it is gene therapy though. So they're focusing on your genes and where that's affecting everything as well, right? So coming up, Brianna Bass, no sex justifying an affair. Maddie, can you believe some people believe that?
that no sex justifies an affair.
Yeah.
I can believe that people believe that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And without moral fiber?
What's that?
And without any moral fiber?
And without any moral fiber. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I guess you're asking, do I think that there are people out there, or am I frozen?
No, you're there. You're there. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, guys. So men are waiting until 31, almost 31 to get married. The highest in recorded history. And I got married young. I got married at 25, and then went through divorce in my 40s. But this one here, guys, 31 years old, the highest that guys are waiting to get married in North America these days. Jimmy, let's run this clip.
30.8. That's not a Jersey number. That's the age men finally say I do now.
In 75, it was 23. That's a 7-year delay in one lifetime.
New Census Bureau data says American men now marry at 30.8. Only 47% of households are married couples. The family blueprint got rewritten.
It's a significant shift, truly.
Delaying with purpose is smart. Drifting without deciding, that's a different conversation.
Well, that I understand. When you and I think of that, boys, when we were growing up, when the three of us were growing up, in 75, men were getting married at 23 and a half years old. Now,
There's a series of reasons for this. First one that I'll pick on
yeah.
is because in those fucking days, people had no fucking choice to talk to one another. You know, now fucking people spend all this fucking time, you know, communicating through a fucking device, so they really never get to know each other well enough. Now, that's one thing. But then the fucking flip side is, and I know quite a few younger people who are like, this place is fucked up. I'm not fucking bringing a child into this. You know what kind of fucking job this is going to be?
Yeah. I got married too young. I did. I got married at 25, too young. Yeah.
Why was it too young?
Because I just reflect on my life. So I reflect. I wasn't, I thought I was, but I wasn't ready for marriage. I wasn't ready for the journey ahead of me. I wasn't ready. I wasn't fully mature, John. I reflect. If I, and I'm not trying to throw fucking cold water on my past life. I didn't have the maturity.
Being honest.
Yeah, I just didn't have the maturity. I didn't have the awareness, knowledge. John, like we've been talking before, man. We're not taught how to pick a partner. We're not taught how to do things, right? And we just kind of end up with them. And it was too early in my life, for sure. It was 100%, way too early. Maddie, I see you nodding there. You're muted, Matt. You're muted. You're muted.
How about now?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. I'm having some technical difficulties. I got married at 30. I got married at 30. I felt good about where I was at 30 because I had some other relationships and some things and saw the world and knew that Heather was a good partner in terms of values alignment and and all that kind of thing. But I was thinking about your story and why it's changed. I have to think some of it has to do with changing social institutions, meaning particularly religion and church, right? And views on sex, because you didn't have kids out of wedlock before before the sexual revolution, right? You didn't have kids out of wedlock. So if you wanted to have sex and you wanted to have kids, you got married. That was it.
Yeah.
So I have to feel like that had to have some impact on that. Whereas now people are living together for long periods of time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the institution of marriage is different, right? The whole idea of it is different, right? We got Chris in the comments here saying kids in biblical days used to get married at 12 and 13 years old. Johnny, you and Terry got together later in life.
34.
Yeah. So there you go. Right. You're in your 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. Mid 30s.
Yes.
Yeah. And at that point I had obviously had Tay, she was 3 when she was three-ish when Terry and I got together.
Yeah.
But it was just a few years before that I decided I wasn't gonna fucking have kids or get married.
Yeah.
That changed.
It's interesting how your brain went through a thought process though, right? Where you said to yourself somewhere in your journey, I'm not having this, yet it ended up happening anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of goes to show, when you just kind of fucking lay back and chill out, things start happening for you.
Yes.
I wasn't in a big search by any means. I wasn't trying to find the right one. But I had ideas from when I was younger of what I thought was going to happen. I just never really, it was more of like, okay, fuck, man, you're way past your window of what you thought was going to happen. Don't fucking sweat it. Is it that big of a deal? No, you're happy. You're doing what you want to do, and then I always say babies come when they want to.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
Hey, so
I think about what you're saying, John, in terms of, I know I was a victim of this in my own time before of by the time I'm X, I want to achieve Y, and by the time I'm 21, I want this, by the time I'm 25, a lot of people get caught up in that. And I used to, particularly more so in my career than in my personal relationships. And I think you're right that things, if you just chill, things are going to happen naturally in their own time because you're putting your intention and your energy where it needs to go at that time. So I like that. I like that.
Brianna Bass joining us in the green room. She'll be joining us in a few minutes here. We're talking about no sex justifying an affair, some brutal truth. Hey guys, so in 75, the median age at first for marriage for men was 23. For women, though, the shift's been just as dramatic. Today, almost 29 years old. Where in 1975, the average age a woman got married was 21. Now it's closer to 30. And then also, guys, in the U.S. Census Bureau also reports that 47% of U.S. households are now married couple households. So almost 50% are married. In 75, when we were growing up, guys, the number was 66%. So,
well, then let's see what the fucking difference is in the length of those fucking commitments.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
And that's part of what fucking turned me off. I was like, there's so much fucking as time was moving forward.
Yeah.
Marriage became, in my mind, more and more of a joke.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Nobody fucking treats this, call it institution, with any value.
Yeah, but you do.
Well, that just because I believe something doesn't mean that I'm going to find someone that I believe a lot of things that people don't fucking believe.
I see what you mean. Yes. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm as I've gotten to know you, it's clear to me, unless I'm misunderstanding everything you're saying since I've known you the last couple of years, it's clear to me you put a lot of value in your relationship and your marriage to Terry. It's quite evident. Matt, you've listened to our show. It's clear Johnny puts a lot of value into that.
And it took me a little while to get there too. I mean, it was like, I had this idea of what I wanted, what marriage was, but I was not fucking living a life that was allowing me to find that. I was living a life that was pretty much guaranteed to get me one of the fucking people that didn't give a shit about the institution of marriage.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense. It wasn't until Terry came along and started displaying this. I mean, she's got a level of loyalty I'd never experienced in a mate before. And so once I tried to break that many times.
Interesting.
You know
Yeah.
I wasn't really a believer. That makes sense.
It does. Yeah.
It almost felt like in the beginning, it almost felt a little fanish, if you will. And I'm not trying to say she was a fan.
No.
I was like, this doesn't really make sense to me. This makes sense, to someone that I would, have fun with for a few days and send them on their way, because it felt like it, but it really, underneath that, it was a level of loyalty and commitment I had just never experienced in a mate.
That's awesome. I want to keep that conversation going with Brianna here in the second hour. I know Maddie's got to rock and roll. He's been
I gotta go
on here. So Roofy, I know I got to rock and roll, pal. Let's catch up later today. I appreciate you, Matt Roof, 7:30 Eastern time. Roofy, final word, brother, before we roll.
I just appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And get our technical difficulties straightened out here one of these days. But
you're good, man, Roofy.
Come join us in the mornings in the lab every weekday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, right here. Kindness Rising, and then mornings in the lab with Keith, John, and friends.
All right.
Great to see you, brother.
See you, buddy.
All right. Maddie's out of here. We're going to do Lifestyle Tip with Anderson. Come back and we're going to reset hour 2. We're going to do No Sex Justifying an Affair with Brianna Bass. And I want to keep the conversation happening with John around relationships, because I think it kind of leans into it, actually. The no sex, affairs, him recognizing his journey with Terry, going, oh, this is odd. Let's have that conversation coming up in 2 minutes. But first of all, Lifestyle Reset, Brianna Bass. Coming up on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
All right, the lifestyle tip. I've done something similar to this before, but I think it's something that you can't hear enough. But more importantly, it really applies to me today. And if you can see it in the first hand, maybe it'll make a little more sense to apply it to yourself. I wake up, I was traveling, had a big weekend, and I was fucking tired. I'm straight up. I slept good. It was much more of an active weekend than I'm normally accustomed to, and I'm tired. And crazy enough, I believed it was Monday. Got on the show, started talking to Keith like we hadn't talked since last Friday. And call it disorientation, call it whatever the fuck you want to. But the bottom line is this. Nothing has to be perfect. You just have to get up and keep taking one step at a time, even if you think it's fucking Monday and it's Tuesday. So the tip is this, and I say this to myself all the time. I'm saying it today for sure, especially after my awakening that it's Tuesday. It doesn't have to be your best day. It just has to be another day you show up. Even if you think it's Monday and it's Tuesday, even if you feel like shit, whatever the reason is, your brain is going to convince you that you shouldn't continue. But trust me when I tell you, yes, you can continue. And as long as you remind yourself, it's not about being perfect. It's a zero-sum game. Every day you get to do it again. So remind yourself when you're ready to throw in the towel, it doesn't have to be your best day. It just has to be another day you show up. Rock and roll.
Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, the big show where we help men and every other beautiful disaster. Tuning in, start today with entertaining conversations, some momentum, and a little bit of honest energy. Hey, if you're just finding us, come like the show, come subscribe to it, and come jump into the comments. And if you haven't checked in yet, come check in at mornings.live. Show your proof, show you are up and at them, and you are out there achieving your big goals, building your streak with the Mornings in the Lab community. And hey, don't forget today's poll. Kai is over hanging off the pole. Yes, she is. Do you ever feel like you're just pretending to have it all together? Hey, are you constantly feel like you're fooling everyone? Maybe you're just occasionally pushing through it, or you never know what you are capable of. And hey, today's first hour, we had some great headlines. The helicopter flying by Kid Rock's house. What the was that? Maybe they flew by Brianna Boss's house as well. And hey, we also got into men getting married later in life and some fun conversation with Matt Roof, the car story with Matt Roof in the first hour. All right, Brianna's been patiently waiting for us. We're bringing her up because we're talking about, hey, I'm not getting any. I'm just not getting any. I'm going to go have an affair on my wife. Oh, is that good? We're talking about it coming up right now on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Brianna and friends.
No sex for months. So you started an affair? That's not an accident. That's a whole side project with deadlines.
You're not unlucky, you're unfaithful. It's not about missing sex, it's about choosing secrecy. Now you've got 2 phones and a work call every time you shower. You're not stressed. You're managing a cover story. Here's the cost. Rejection hurts, but betrayal detonates trust. One problem becomes 5, lying, paranoia, and a home that feels unsafe. So stop auditioning for best excuse. Make a clear request this morning with a clear deadline. If nothing changes, leave clean. Today, we're breaking the myth that pain equals permission. We'll show the honest moves that protect your self-respect, your partner's dignity, and your future.
One of our favorite segments with Brianna Bass. What's going on, Brianna?
Hey, morning.
How are you?
Good morning, Brianna. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Awesome. So, hey, in a large study, around 15 to 16% of married people have had no sex in the past year, and then they file for divorce, but a good percentage of them go and have affairs. So how often are people knocking on your door saying, he won't have sex with me, or she won't have sex with me, so that just justified my reason to go and bang somebody else? Is that like, do people justify that, Brianna Bass?
Well, one, I work with a ton of people who have, not been intimate in 6 months, a year. While being confidential, I'll say that I have quite a few couples in which they wouldn't present as that being the obvious case, meaning they're in their 20s or low 30s. I'm not even necessarily talking about couples where they've been married for 20 years or anything like that. So yeah, it's quite pervasive. And I think that people are having, in my opinion, and clinically, in my opinion, less sex than ever in committed partnerships specifically. But yeah, I do believe that. But on the whole justifying an affair, I do get that on occasion. But most of the time, if you're motivated to sit down with somebody and we're trying to course correct, you're probably coming with your tail between your legs, both parties, and in a place of motivation and a lot of humility. So actually, no, most of the time they're not trying to justify it. Also, they'd be trying to justify it with their partner sitting there, and then let alone to me. That's not going to go great.
Yeah, no shit. Johnny, when you hear this, what do you think about this? When someone's like, I'm not getting any, so I'm going to go and have an affair on my wife. And I predict what you're going to say, which is that guy got to get his shit together. But what's your POV on this?
Yeah, I mean, my first thing is always fucking look in the mirror.
Yes.
I mean, it's if she doesn't want to get down, I mean, take your shirt off, because she probably wants to fucking nurse on one of your tits rather than your dick.
Brianna, you can use that line. John's giving you permission sometime in counseling.
I'm starting today.
But I mean, you think about it, it's like nobody ever wants to take accountability for their own shit. They just want to blame somebody else.
Is there ever a time to justify it though, Brianna? Like, has there ever been a time where a wife or a man has said, okay, fine, if you need to get that out of your system, you're rolling your eyes at me. Is that a justification, or is that kind of an agreement then? We've now moved to an agreement situation where it's not cheating, it's an agreement. Go get it out of your system.
Yeah, that's the distinction, because if you are in a, let's say, monogamous committed partnership, or the case where affair would apply, right? There's only few options to manage this. You either address it head on, the place that you're in and where it's taken you, or you change the agreement. So we do change our arrangement here, or you leave. But those are really the only options, and people are going to want to avoid those options. None of them are really that enjoyable. And affair is going to be what happens when nobody wants to do any of those.
Yeah. So going back to it, I know, Brianna, you were listening in when John was talking about Terry, and John, you were surprised as you were meeting Terry that she kept, I'm going to use the term, like, kept walking back to the counter, and you're like, geez, like there's something, like, this girl likes me. There's some loyalty here. There's something about this situation that is attracting me to her, that's turning me on about this whole situation. Talk a little bit about that, Anderson, and how that never moves you down the situation of, I get what I need from my partner. There's no way I'm justifying an affair.
I mean, I don't know. I think it always goes back to me. That's the way I train. That's the way I think. It's like, I mean, you're talking about almost kind of two different things. You're talking about Terry's loyalty, but then talking about, I mean, at this point in my life, there's just, earlier in my life, it was very easy for me to say, okay, that piece of ass over there is well worth me losing this one over here. So I'm going to have some fun, right? Because there wasn't much, I wasn't putting a lot in the one I was worried about losing.
Yes.
Hell, maybe I was just trying to get her the fuck out of my goddamn apartment. Who knows, But then when Terry came along and all these different traits I wasn't used to, the loyalty and the commitment and all these things. And I had a hard time believing it at first. I really did. So I was constantly testing her and seeing if it was bullshit. And to what you said, she kept coming back to the counter, as I think was a phrase you used.
Yeah. Yes.
And then I realized, okay, I've been doing this fucking poor girl for a long goddamn time, and she's still here. And we went through multiple separations, and I believed at different points, I'm just not the one to make her happy, is what I told myself. When in actuality, it's not my job to make her happy. She's going to be happy because of, she is. It's can we accept each other within this relationship and make it work? But anyway, at the go into a certain point in this, and I realized, okay, there's no piece of ass that is worth me losing what I have here. It just doesn't fucking matter. Not even a piece of ass. It's not even worth me like flirting with that situation. Like literally the word flirt.
Yes.
All of a sudden it's like I'm breaking down that thing that she's trying to give me. I'm not reciprocating. And then it's just at this point at where we are now, it's just like, I mean, it's just not even a thought. I if anything, I probably lean away from situations that could even be perceived improperly by her, because it's like if I think of myself, like for example, on social media, right? If, girls will come in there all the time, and it's been a long time since I've been in there myself, but when that was happening, I had to really be fucking careful to avoid that shit, because somehow, some way that leaked out that I was talking to some female. And even if it was about business, that could creep into her mind something in a different way. And to me, it wasn't worth it. My business is doing great. To somehow pursue this small piece of my business, to put this large, piece of my personal life on the chopping block, just didn't fucking make it.
Wasn't worth it. Yeah. Good morning, Dwayne Whitaker. I see you out there, brother. Good to have you on the show this morning. John dropped the word loyalty a few times. Your job is talking with couples to help them move forward in a relationship. Is loyalty one of the things that breaks when affairs happen? Or is loyalty the one component which really drives somebody from not having an affair? Like that power, like loyalty is a powerful drug or metaphor, isn't it, Brianna?
Yeah, I think loyalty is part of the preventative measure. It's both, and of course, it's what breaks when we have an affair. But a few things that I have to clarify. So, one, people don't typically justify affairs by I hate my partner. I want to betray my partner. Affairs are justified in someone's mind. I am not saying they're justified, but the justification that we use sort of intrinsically is I deserve more. I deserve to feel wanted. Yes, I deserve to feel wanted.
Entitlement.
It is an entitlement. Yes. Somebody is interested in you. They give you attention. Somebody talks to you without being critical, right? They respond quickly. They laugh at what you say. And all of a sudden you're intoxicated. And you remember what it feels like to be desired, to be yearned for, or noticed in that way, right? So affairs don't start as dramatically as maybe media often makes them out to be. Most of the time, it's far more subtle. And as John was alluding to, right, it can start just environmentally, and it can encroach slowly, right, sort of covertly, before it turns into this big full thing where we were talking earlier about having 2 cell phones and juggling a crazy schedule, right? So, but yeah, the affair is usually from a place of I no longer feel desired or wanted, but that is what I deserve. And so I'm going to go get that elsewhere.
Yeah, you mentioned the word laughing. You're right, because affairs happen when I'm making some assumptions here. Like in the workplace, you spend a lot of time with somebody, and next thing you know, you're giggling with somebody, and John is joking around with the woman, or Keith is joking around with the woman, and next thing you know, the joking turns into longer conversations, turns into emotional connections, turns into, oh, I kind of like this person. It's actually kind of like that, isn't it, Brianna?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Affairs don't necessarily register as a conscious decision at first. That's what I mean when I'm talking about them being subtle, sort of just an inch at a time. And the next thing you know, you're in a dire type of situation, right? It's registering as relief. This is relief from what I'm feeling at home, which is unwanted rejection, technically rejection all the time, right?
Yes.
Rejection, even if I'm not in pursuit of being intimate with you, the fact that I know that if I were to try, it would not land, that's rejection, right? So you're still in a rejected environment all the time, right? So that person that giggles at you or, brushes up against you or finds you interesting or asks you questions, is curious about you. Yeah, intoxicating, it's going to register as relief. And it's not so much you're thinking I'm betraying my partner, although you of course literally are. You're going, this is such a contrast. I remember what this feels like. And you will literally get dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, vasopressin comes from all of this stuff. And so you will feel high.
Yes. Well, so it's interesting you say it, because John said something too, and I want to go here with myself and my relationship with Lauren. Like, John, you were saying to me, you were saying earlier that you couldn't believe that she kept, I use the term, walking back to the counter. Like, almost like, why does she keep choosing me? Is that kind of how I was interpreting that with you? And I got to say, Anderson, I felt the same way when I I'll use my mom's words, when I got with Lauren and I started hanging out with Lauren, and I fell in love with her loyalty to me. I was like, wow, like she really digs me. Because Johnny, for the longest time, I was like, why? Right. So I'll be honest, looking in my own mirror, like why? Like I would give every reason why, like why she would like me. Why, is it because of this? Is it because I got a dollar in my bank account? And I was trying to undo every reason why. But the power of that, and then I kept watching, and the loyalty to me and to us, Brianna, Johnny, was like intoxicating, that feeling. And John,
Yeah, well, and that probably is a part of it too. Like, with I would never, people, usually girls would know who I was, but they didn't know, how I was doing per se, because they're obviously looking for attraction and stability. They're gonna be attracted to somebody living in their fucking car, versus they're attractive and they're actually doing well. And so, like I lived on the fucking San Francisco Bay at the time.
Yes.
And, like in Terry's, she had, in multiple conversations, she had talked about it's my dream to live on the water. I'm like, oh, fucking great. So I didn't take her to my house for a long time.
Oh, interesting. Because you didn't want to disappoint her.
Disappoint her? What do you mean?
Well, no.
The opposite.
Sorry, I'm sorry you broke up. That's why. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, it wasn't about disappointing. It was like, okay, I know that there's an attraction here.
Yes.
About how I look, but she has no fucking clue that I'm doing well.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes,
sure. Her dream is to live on the water. Well, fuck, I lived on the San Francisco Bay.
Yes, I get you.
So
I missed that part.
So I didn't take her. I didn't take her to my house for a long fucking time because, that would have. I don't know. It's kind of like I'm never going to figure out if this loyalty was loyal at that point. Then she found out, and then I might as well take her to my house. So I did. But what's so funny?
Well, no, but just that, because I can kind of predict your thought process, which was like, wow, like this girl really digs me. I guess I got to take her to my house.
Well, I only took her to my house once she found out that I lived on the water.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That makes sense because she knows what's the difference, but it was just the, I guess, it was just me trying to figure out. I mean, she was definitely different. I knew that.
Yes.
She was, I spent a lot of time in fucking strip clubs and that type of shit.
Yes.
So she was, she was a mother. She was
she had her shit together.
Yeah. And so it was kind of like at that point, okay, I knew that there was a little something different here, but that was the whole thing. Is like, I'm trying to figure this shit out. But then I think what happened was then when, like when I went through my first, especially in business, we go through ups and downs.
Yes.
And so when I took my first big fucking kick to the nuts, she didn't fucking waver.
Oh yeah, that told you everything right there. So let's stay on loyalty. Brianna, is loyalty lost in today's relationships in your experience, or is it misunderstood? Is it as common as perhaps I think about it growing up? Or talk to me about loyalty, Brianna.
Loyalty is not lost in today's relationships. No, I don't think so at all. I think actually it's considered more precious, a treasure, more than it ever has been before because of the amount of threats. Right, on a day-to-day basis. With the socials and all the things, right? So what John's talking about is that the fact that he found someone and then, was suspicious, was skeptical, and then got to a place of a true, genuine belief that this person, and then he started to allude to unconditional love, where he's going, hey, my bank account dipped, or I got hit with sort of this hard moment, and she did not waver, right? This is what I was talking about earlier when I said on the betrayal and the cheating and the affair, I talked about the contrast. His contrast wouldn't have existed. He's going, what I have at home is better than strip club girl or whatever, right? There isn't a contrast. So for those reasons, you would never compromise that. You would not jeopardize that. I mean, of course, there's exceptions to everything. And like I always talk about, right? People that want external validation and are addicted to all that, that's different. But generally speaking, right? I don't think that loyalty is gone. I think it's very precious. I think it's at a very high premium. And I think that's what people are scanning for and trying to evaluate and assess for during the dating stage nowadays more than ever, actually.
Oh, interesting, because we talked earlier, like people are getting married later in life, Brianna, before you arrived. Some of the stats are showing, like, so when Johnny and Keith were growing up back in the Stone Ages there, it was, by the time, in the 70s, people were getting married quite young, and that's gone up significantly. I think you've nailed it there. It's because it's harder to find loyalty.
Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons. And I myself got married at 26.
Okay.
And, looking back, I'm like, in my head, I was a child.
I was too young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but yeah, something else I'll say on this topic, just kind of switching to the sort of what do we do about it piece.
Yeah.
I know it's not very sexy, and I talk a lot about how people misunderstand that when you start to date or you're in something, that it should always feel incredibly natural and easy, and you should be able to assume everything the other person's saying and it be correct, and that's not the case, and that's actually not what compatibility is or chemistry is. So on that note, right, making a contract about what flies and what doesn't fly, what are your boundaries and limits. So smart, so brilliant, right? I always tell you to treat this relationship as you would a business. If you were an entrepreneur and it was your baby, you would not let an I go undotted or a T uncrossed. I want you to do the same thing here, right? So can you text the opposite sex one-on-one? Can you go on work trips one-on-one with the opposite sex? Can you go to dinners? What happens if somebody does say something to you? Do you share it with your partner, or do you mitigate that and manage it without it needing to be shared? All this stuff, right? Putting it out in the open and setting some ground rules around it, totally going to set you up for success.
John, I have to imagine that's difficult for many couples. Wouldn't you think, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to the whole my whole disenchantment with the way that people look at marriage to begin with. It's like,
well, that's how you started this whole thing. Yeah.
It's just it's not really looked at as this. People just do it. It's like, oh, we're we hear this all the time. Oh, we're having trouble. Let's just get married.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Let's get married.
You're taking this thing that's barely fucking surviving because you're not putting in the work. You're going to raise the expectations, but you haven't done anything to support those expectations. How in the hell do you think that? But that's how people think. And it's just like, it's
well,
so
I think in my situation, Brianna, and I'll throw the tennis ball back to you as I say this, is that I suspect my journey when I chose to get married at 25 is because it's not just what I did. Like, my parents got married in the 20s, and that's just what I did. It's like, okay, I guess I'm getting married now. And it was like, that was like the script that I was supposed to do. I even look
kind of programmed.
Yeah. I even look back at the house I built. I love you, Dad, but sometimes I look at, I built my dad's house. Right. And it's like these things that you do because you think you're supposed to do. And then you wake up going, wait a minute, this is my life. I want to have my life. Brianna, I see you nodding there. You can relate, can't you, Brianna?
You're completely right. Yeah. Not only can I relate personally, I had the exact same mindset where I thought, well, I've been with this person for a number of years, and things seem quite well. This seems like the natural progression of things.
Yeah, right.
We're hitting these milestones. Well, I guess this is what's next. This is what you do. I saw something the other day where, I don't know if it's true or not, but for the simplicity of the conversation, they, asked a bunch of divorced people, did you know? Was there anything that told you as you walked down that aisle or you made that commitment? Did you know? Did you have a hunch that we could end up divorced one day? Did you have that thought? And most of the time, the divorced individual say yes. Mm-hmm. Now, if you surveyed them on that actual day, of course, I'm sure they'd say absolutely 100%. Not. Yeah. But in hindsight, yes. So I don't know if you can identify with that. 100%. I can. Yes. I did think, even at age 26, I did think, I don't totally know about this, but I thought it must be me. I'm the problem because this is what you do. And, okay, uncertainties to be expected to an extent, but in hindsight, I now read that as not uncertainty. I do read that as actually a signal and data to tell me that this wasn't a wise decision.
Hey, quickly before we wrap up here with you, when people come to see you, Brianna, just through your own experiences and talking with other couples, and obviously keeping all confidentiality because that's what you do, there are times I gotta suspect in your brain you're like, I can kind of see where this is headed. And would that be fair for me to assume?
Yeah, there's actually a rule around that, and it's really easy to follow. It's if self-disclosure will be in the best interest of the client. So that's all I have to think about, right? So let's say somebody's talking about they've experienced infidelity, for example, and let's say that I have experienced that in the past. So by sharing that information and in my experience, is it going to be in the best interest of the client or not, right? Now this conversation is turning towards me, or it's just unnecessary, things like that, even a distraction, right? If I can go, it would be in the best interest of the client to disclose this piece of information. It's going to build our rapport. It's going to make our conversation even more rich. I will share some of that information. But yeah, all the time I get people that I can identify with stuff. And a lot of times, I got to tell you, I got a lot of people that I can't identify with.
Interesting.
And I still have to recruit them in a way. Yeah, sure. If I'm working with let's say, 6-year-old male with PTSD from before, that's very realistic for me to work with, right? And I'll put out in the open, hey, I haven't been in your shoes, and I'm not going to try to compete with that.
No. But I also assume, though, that there's people that you've met with that you'll go home and you'll just look in your own mirror and you'll think to yourself, I don't think they're going to make it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. Certainly there's couples that I meet with where I'm thinking, in my clinical opinion and personal opinion, this is something that we really need to work towards amicably dissolving or co-parenting, things like that, instead of trying to, resuscitate or keep this
amicably resolving. Interesting.
Yeah. But no, I never would advise someone that was my stance, that at this point, I feel like, unless there was some sort of exception like domestic violence or something, but I leave that for them to make the decision. You can only lead a horse to water.
Yes, 100%. Good morning, everybody. Hanging with Keith, John, and Brianna this morning. We're wrapping up with No Safe Words every Tuesday live at 9 o'clock Eastern time with Keith, Brianna, and John. We got some vintage throwback. Do you remember back when this is what it looked like growing up? E.T. was out and they released this toy, John, and it got pulled from the shelves. This is where you'd find it in these toy shops. Can you see why they pulled it off the shelves? Yeah, somebody's like, hey, we got a finger we can make for E.T. And they actually sold this.
You don't know if that's his finger, if that's his Johnson.
Like, what the hell is that decision, Brianna? So that's the toys that Keith and John were being sold growing up. Like, yeah, I want to get an ET finger.
I never, ever saw that.
I saw that we had a store here in the mall. It was called San Francisco. That was just the name of the store, Johnny. But it was like a store that had these toys and crafts and hobbies. The balsa wood that I told you about yesterday, I bought there. And you'd buy these ridiculous things. And I swear I saw that ET finger hanging on the wall there one day. And I was like, oh, ET go home. Yeah, now we're laughing about it years later.
They call us, they're like little hobby shops, weren't they?
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. Brianna would know what those are because I don't think she didn't grow up with hobbies. Not hobby era. That was the Keith and John era. Brianna, hobbies don't exist anymore. It's now the side hustle.
That's true. How can I monetize this?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The hobby is gone. Actually, is like the hobby is gone. Who has a fucking hobby? Seriously.
Well, it's because of fucking scrolling is fucking taking over everybody's interest.
Yeah. Well, there's that. True. Yeah. Hey, Brianna, I know you live in Texas over there. Did you see the helicopter flying by your house on the way to Kid Rock's place yesterday?
I did not.
No,
are you going to show it to me, or did you guys already watch that?
Well, no. So there's a little bit of controversy happening in the Americas because people are freaked out that they decided to stop the helicopter by a kid's house to give him a little wave. So yeah, true story. Yeah, check this out. Here we got it on the screen here. There you go. I thought I might have saw your house in the distance there, but maybe that wasn't your house in the distance. That was just
Didn't he live in Michigan though?
He lives in Michigan, yes, and he has a second place. So apparently this is his Southern White House replica.
Oh, okay.
Apparently it's a replica of the White House that he has in somewhere in the Nashville area. So, hey guys, hey John, Brianna, before you go.
Hey, John, before you go, we found a marquee that shows violence. It says, sex may make your day, but anal makes your whole week.
Whole week is a wild way to describe Tuesday. That's not church messaging. That's a warning label.
You're telling me they meant whole week and still landed on whole week. That's either genius or sabotage. The replies are everybody pretending they're mature, then instantly failing. It's just grown adults snort laughing and clutching pearls.
John, is this top-tier wordplay, or are we sending a wellness check to whoever runs that sign? What's your ruling?
If I hear those guys keep talking about clutching pearls, yeah. So that's outside of a church, Johnny. Sex may make your day, but anal makes your whole week whole.
Well, and just the fact that the gay brothers always find these little things, just confirming they've already admitted that they're dating. Thank God. So, but it's like Jesus Christ, you know. They bring a lot of they even if they didn't admit this is the stuff that tells us we've been right all along.
If I could just get clips of Brianna's face as we are showing these things, because her expressions are priceless. Her expressions are awesome. I would pay just for expressions of Brianna when we're showing this shit. Like,
and Brianna, just so you understand the origin of this, these two guys come out and they're a little suspect, right? But you know, plenty of people are suspect. I mean, fuck, you know. I mean, you call it a metro section. Oh, there's plenty of straight dudes that are metro. That's what I believe it's called. All good, you know. But then these two fuckers decided one day, they said, you know what? We want to get a puppy together. Okay. Now you've crossed the line. But, you know, if you're two dudes that want to get a pup together, they want to own this puppy together, I think that just clearly showed they slipped, of course. But what do you think?
I think John's gonna get me canceled.
We got to protect Brianna. We got to put the boundaries around Brianna Bass, our resident clinical sexologist. I love our Tuesday segment with you, B.
I'll be the fall guy. I got no problem with that.
I'm loving the chemistry and I'm loving the conversation. Brianna, have an awesome day today, eh?
Thank you so much, guys.
Always good to see you, Brianna.
We'll see you later.
All right, I'll see you later.
Brianna Bass is out of here. Certified clinical sexologist every Tuesday. No safe words with Keith and John on Mornings in the Lab. Johnny, go get yourself a nap, brother. You going for a nap?
I got a little filming to do right now.
Yeah, say hi to Ben for me.
I will.
Yeah, and actually,
I think he reached out a little bit, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, we talked last week. Just give him a little heads up that if he's got a weekend under his belt, that if he needs me to tap in, I'm happy to jump in with him today. Okay.
Perfect. You're awesome. The man, brother. I appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate you as well. Lots of love. Enjoy the conversation. Get some rest, and I'll talk to you in 22.
Have a good loop, my brother.
Beautiful. All right, John is out of here. Good morning, everybody. Yes, Dwayne Whitaker, Cheryl Whitaker, the two Whitakers. I love you both. Do you know who I love more? Joseph. Where are you joining me from, Joseph? So, Joseph, I like to use this finger to do some digging sometimes. What about you? What's your favorite finger, Joseph? Yeah. Have you ever tried the ET finger up your finger? That could work too sometimes too. I'm just thinking. Yeah. What's this? I just saw the note from Dwayne. Simple. Don't do anything you wouldn't do in the presence of your mate. I agree with Dwayne Whitaker on that one. 100%. All right. So we got, all right. Oh, guys, Jimmy, who made the opener for Focus? Was it a guy or a girl? Because if it was a guy who makes it, it's going to be longer than 39 seconds. Guys, did you not know that I got older 1 year this year? Like, my bladder takes longer to warm up. My boys know. Petro knows. Dwayne knows. Whitaker knows. He's like, fuck, man, it's going to take warmer to long up. So, okay, I got 39 seconds to empty the tank before the morning monologue. Yeah, I got a morning monologue for you guys that I think might be kind of interesting. It is about, I love this one. And it's funny because I had coffee with Whitaker. Cheryl and I were talking, and I was like, it just gets me how difficult it is for people to just get up and have a daily conversation as a leader in an industry. And you think about it, you're getting up anyways. And if you think about being grateful to get up, you're actually grateful to get up because some people don't even get up. So you get to get up. The power of being the first voice in the room. Think about that. And I'm not talking about 2-hour show, 4-hour show, doing fucking Anderson Cooper or Wolf Blitzer or no. Could you just imagine being the first person to speak in your industry or the first person to speak, within your industry, your business and so forth. Imagine the power that you would have by being the first voice, because the first voice, well, it sets the room. Coming up, in 40 seconds on the Morning Focus.
We lose rooms before we enter them. The first voice sets the frame. No hiding. Speaking first isn't being loud. It's being clear. On time.
We call it being thoughtful. It's fear wearing a tie. That's the drift.
When we hesitate, someone else steers. We pay in trust and self-respect.
The rule is simple. If it matters, we go first with truth. That's the contract.
We don't wait for comfort. We create orientation. Morning is where we practice it.
Keith's about to break it down. We set the room before the world sets us. Morning begins here.
It's a pretty impressive bladder I have. Yeah. Woo, baby. 39 seconds. Yeah, I know you guys are all, as I'm just dripping away here. Yeah. Okay, guys. I got something to put on the table this morning. And it is it's something that goes along the lines of the first voice is setting the room. And let me just get myself set up in front of me because, you know, this, as I've gone through my journey in life, this is the biggest, if not one of the biggest lessons I've learned from doing live conversations over and over and over and, you know, doing my, you know, leading ICUC for the longest time. Whoever speaks first does more than just speak. Think about that for a second. Let me hang on that. Just hang on that whole idea. Whoever speaks first does more than just speak. No, you frame. Period. You shape perception. And what also happens is you set the emotional temperature for the room. The room that you walk into, the room that you're setting, the table that you are around, that perception is set by you first. And when you do that, you also establish what kind of room this is going to be. You do that by telling everybody what it is, what's acceptable, what are the boundaries, what matters, what happens next. It's like being the DJ. Think about that. The person controlling the music in the room, well, they have the power. That is the power. And most people, well, I see it often. Most people just give it away every single day. They wait. They wait to see what everybody else is going to say. They wait for consensus from the community. They wait for permission. Better yet, or worse yet, they wait for safer language. They wait until the moment has passed them, and then they enter the conversation after the energy is already gone, and their opinion probably doesn't even matter because nobody heard it. And then, oh yeah, I've seen it too often. Then they wonder why they are invisible. They wonder why people don't notice them. They're like, hello? No shit, Sherlock. If you're always arriving after the room has already been defined, then you're actually not leading. And this is where I just can't wrap my head around this. Jimmy Kai Whitaker. Like, people go to bed, they get up. Yeah, true story. Okay. There's a window of time where people are looking for communication. Yet, too many of us are waiting for somebody else to lead it. I don't understand it at all. Because again, if you're the one arriving after everybody has arrived, then you're not leading. You're just being the adapter. So I'm going to say something quite provocative right now. All you fucking leaders, you're actually not leaders, you're followers. Yeah, true story. Huh. Yeah, think about that. Are you starting the morning conversation? No, I didn't think so. No, you're not a leader, you're a follower. I'm starting the morning conversation. I'm saying it like it is. Joe Whitaker is starting the morning conversation. That is leadership. Matt Roof is starting the morning conversation. That is leadership. So don't come to me or don't get on the socials bitching about why people aren't maybe consuming your content or engaging with you. Dude, the door is wide fucking open. It's wide fucking open. There's nobody there. There's nobody starting the morning conversation in your industry. You can. Why don't you? I know it's hard. Sure, it's hard. But if you become the one who leads the room before everybody else, you become the adapter. And there is a massive difference from the one who's adapting to the one who's leading. And the people who win in markets, they win in media, they win in culture, are very often not the people with the most information. Think about that. Think about that, think about that, think about that. No, they're just the one who's first. They're just the one who's early enough to shape interpretation, to shape perception, to plant the seeds for what you're saying, for what you're thinking, for how you start your day. Regardless if they're giving you a fact or an alternative fact, they are setting your day. That, my friends, is what first voice really is. It's not speed for the sake of speed. No, it's not blurting something out just to chase the attention. No, and it's not even empty noise. And it's not even the presence at the moment that matters. That, my friends, is why mornings matter so much. It's a habit. What happens in the morning? We all get up. Yeah, true story. Mornings is the first level of somebody's routine. Before the inbox, before the meetings, before the stress, before all of the chaos in your life, what happens? Get up, you pick up your phone, and if you do decide to jump into your inbox, you're jumping into somebody else's task list. So then why don't you start a morning conversation so you can set the tone for somebody else? Mornings is the first voice of the level of somebody's routine. Point blank, period. Before the inbox, before the meetings, before all the stress, before all the chaos, before the algorithm has hijacked the entire day, the entire mood, and pulled your audience into every other direction, the morning that you sets the room for your day, for your audience's day, for your community's day. That's why owning the morning is not some cute slogan. It's actually a fucking strategy that so many people are sleeping on. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's wide open. The morning is actually a habit in disguise. Because the first thing people hear, the first thing they feel, and the first thing they experience does what? It has disproportionate power. Why do you think people go to church first thing in the morning? No shit, fucking Sherlock. It shapes the rest. That's true. That's true personally. That's true professionally. That's true in media. That's true in brands. That's true in leadership. And yet most brands, most of us, most humans still behave like late arrivals. And it drives me absolutely nuts. They wait until the trend is obvious. Oh, that's been trending. We're going to get into that now. You're too late. They wait until the language is already stale. Nah, you're too predictable. They wait until somebody else has taken the risk. Ah, you're already late. And they wait until there is social proof instead of creating it. And then they jump in and pretend that they're saying something important. Yeah, we all know those brands. But by the time the room is already defined, this is why so much brand content that we consume today feels weak. It's not because it's boring. No, it's because it's late. No voltage, no timing, no authorship, just a late piece of content with no signal. And it feels like a response to a conversation that somebody else already started, but yet nobody remembers the seventh person to say the same thing. What does the market do? It remembers the signal. The room remembers the voice that gave the moment its shape. That's why live, what we do every single day, is so powerful. Because what does it do? It rewards readiness. It rewards clarity, and it rewards the people who are actually capable of thinking in public, holding a room, and setting the tone in real time. Because when you do this live conversation thing, when you are the leader, you do not hide behind edits. Nope. Doesn't work that way. You do not get to hide behind the polish. You do not get to wait until it is safe. You either have presence or you don't. And presence is what people feel when you start that live morning conversation. This is also true inside an organization because the first voice in a company defines the room. Think about that again. The first voice in a crisis, the first voice in a negotiation, the first voice in a relationship. Not because the voice is always right. It's because it creates the initial frame. And once the frame is in place, everybody else becomes the reactor. That's why hesitation is so much more expensive than people think, because every time you stay silently waiting for the perfect moment, someone else gets to define the moment for you. Someone else frames the issue. Someone else sets the tone, and someone else establishes that emotional architecture of the room. And then I've seen you. You're stuck, responding inside of their world. That's not leadership. Leadership is not just intelligence. It's not just experience. It's not just credentials. No. Leadership is signal. You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. Leadership is going first when it matters. Leadership is the willingness to step into uncertainty and create orientation for other people. That is what I do. That is what Whitaker does. That is what Roofy does. That's what great hosts do, great founders, great leaders, great brands, is they define. They don't just participate, they define. And that definition starts when? First thing in the morning. And let's be honest, there's a lot of people hiding behind the idea of being thoughtful when they're actually really just afraid. I've seen them. Oh, I don't want to be wrong. Oh, I can't post this because they're going to judge me. Oh, I'm afraid that I'm going to use the wrong words and it's going to come across quite imperfectly. Or maybe just afraid of being seen too early, before something's polished, softened, approved, or even made safe. But that cost of fear that's holding you back is enormous, because by the time you're comfortable, nation, the opportunity to define the room is gone. Why? Because I already did it. And that is why I believe the first voice matters so much in this next era of media, because in a world full of noise, the premium is not just volume. No, baby, it's signal, not the noise, the signal. And that signal belongs to the people willing to show up first with clarity, not recklessly, no, not performatively, no, and not even just louder. Nope, none of that either. Just earlier, just sharper, just truer. Because the first voice that you bring to the room, the first voice defines the room. The only question is whether you or that person, that competitor of yours, is going to be the one setting it. Or are you the one walking into a room that somebody else has already shaped?
Half the men in this room are running a highlight reel that doesn't match the footage.
Smiling when they're drowning, chasing when they've already stopped feeling, showing up to rooms that don't see them.
Keith pulled 3 stories this week about men who got good at looking right while being somewhere else entirely.
Chief, show them what you found.
I'm still baffled by how many people look at me with square eyes. Oh, you want me to have a morning conversation? What the fuck, man? Honestly, you're asking me that question? And it's funny. I told the story to Whitaker yesterday. I was on a podcast yesterday with Matt Roos and Mahak, and I swear, Mahak, sorry, I know I'm butchering your name. By the end of our time together, I swear I convinced her that having a morning conversation is not a bad thing to do. She's like, wait a minute. I could actually have a morning conversation with a cup of coffee with my audience and create a podcast at the same time. I'm like, yeah, true story. And I saw the lights going on in her head. She's like, wait a minute. I could lead the conversation if I go at first. I'm like, yeah, true story. Or you can be like every other podcaster out there who's making content, nobody's listening to it. Or you can become the habit in somebody's world. And I was watching her just go, oh yeah, I get it. So whether it's a 30-minute, a 45-minute, or a 1 hour, imagine even just starting with a 15-minute dialogue with your community, with your audience, with your stakeholders. A 15-minute, I'm here, here's some conversation, here's some topics, I'll see you in the feed, then you do it the next day, or you do it the next week. Like, just think of the power of being the one setting the conversation for your community. You, imagine that. And you could do it in as little as 15 minutes a week. Think about that. Think what you'd get out of that whole situation. All right, let's move on over to LinkedIn. The Wise 8 posted on LinkedIn and said, what? Hold on, let's just pause here. Joseph says, leaders in the company are always hiding from everyone instead of confront the problem. Eventually, the problem gets bigger. I'm with you, Joseph. Joseph, I know you've been hanging out with us on the show this morning. I appreciate you, man, hanging out with us on Mornings in the Lab, and I know you're around for that monologue, and I appreciate your comments as well. Going back over to LinkedIn here, the Wise 8 is saying, don't overthink it. It'll be fine because you've heard it before. But here's what that does to you. It trains you to bury what you're feeling. And it trains you to bury those emotions that they don't vanish. They convert into chronic stress, racing thoughts, and anxiety that builds for absolute years. You're stressed, you're uncertain, maybe you're lost, but your feed says everyone else is thriving and your brain is going, blah. So what do? You stop processing, you start performing. And that gap between what you feel and what you project is where the real damage lives. Here's the fix. Stop reframing those hard emotions before you've sat with them. Feel it, name it, then move. And maybe that movement is to start a live morning conversation. Think about that. Hey, moving over to Substack, he committed, but just not to you. On a day where we're talking about sex justifying affairs, Soul Hunting on Substack wrote a piece called He Committed, Just Not to You. And it's written from a woman's perspective, but the mirror is pointed at us men. She describes men between 25 and 45 who collect the accessories, the mortgage, the gym, but internally they're running from stillness. Well, her argument was this: men confuse the chase with the commitment because the pursuit feels like the purpose, according to her. The having feels like the pressure. Interesting. Kai, we should have Soul Hunting on the show. I think that'd be a good decision. But here's the line that should land. Nobody sat you down and said love is not a reward for achievement. It's a daily practice. It's presence, not performance. Because if the room gets quiet and your first instinct is to bolt, like Usain Bolt, that's the part that needs your attention. That's the work, not the next chase. I love that. All right, wrapping up the community corner over on YouTube. Why good men don't show up to single events. Ask an older man on YouTube. He breaks down why a good man stopped going to singles events. His answer is direct. Those events are a bad deal. And men know a bad deal when they see one. Oh shit, yeah. Men from Winnipeg know an even worse deal when they see one. Because the men that women actually wanted those events, they don't need them. Men show up. Regular men, decent men, men with jobs and routines. And too often, those are the men that get treated like they are invisible. Well, his best line is this: that's not a dating market. That's a ritual of discouragement. Because after enough polite indifference and one-word answers, men stop showing up. The takeaway is this: it isn't bitterness, it's clarity. So go where your presence is valued. Yeah, your presence is valued in the shitter. Jimmy, are you listening? Build some rooms worth being in. Stop walking through doors that don't you respect from being there. The only place you're going to get some respect is looking in your own mirror in the shitter. So Maya, where does a man go? Jimmy, Maya, where does a man go when being honest isn't safe anymore?
Somewhere he built himself, not a room that was handed to him. Every story Keith just ran has the same problem: men performing instead of processing. Take care of yourselves, nation.
Fun show today. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Here's the thing: it's like our standard show, and which when I think about athletics and sports, you put your team together, you put them on the ice or on the field or the pitch, and you expect them to perform a certain way. You're like, yeah, this is how I expect us to deliver. That was today's show. Thank you to all of you guys. Thanks to Kai, to Jimmy, Melissa. Appreciate the team behind the scenes. Fun topics, great guests. Rufy was awesome. The car story, that's shitty, dude. Joseph, dude, I appreciate you, man. Joseph, good time you're out there. Yes, Charlie is out there. Oh, man, I haven't seen you out there for a while, Charlie. I appreciate you, brother. Joseph, thanks for your show. Made me to speak. Listen, Joseph, where are you joining me from today? You're new to our channel. I want to welcome you, and I appreciate you hanging out with us here. If you're new to us, I invite you to go check out mornings.live. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I hope you'll do that with us as well. But mornings.live, Joseph, you can go check in and build the streak. And listen, does the streak pay you money? No. Does it pay you forth in life? Yes. Because maybe just having those repetitive daily habits are helpful. I don't know. I had some humor with Cheryl yesterday, and she's like, "Go and bill us it." Yeah, what does that mean? Just go and do it. Just go and fucking do it, right? So because you never know what's going to happen. I see you up there, Dwayne. Good to see you up there on the proof board as well. Let's see how we can build our streaks. Let's see if we can catch up to Mike Sullivan, the streak leader on the board there. But in order for us to pass him, somebody's going to have to knock him out. I'm not saying kill him. No, nobody said kill Mike Sullivan. Jimmy, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm just suggesting like maybe Nancy Kerrigan or like just knock his knee or something. But, we got to find a way to maneuver Sullivan out of the top spot. Maybe Dwayne Witter could go figure something out. I don't know, but we got to find a way or get up before Sullivan because he gets up pretty early out there on the West Coast. But Sullivan's leading the charge for us on the morning check-ins. Oh, yeah. Neiman has given us a good one. Sullivan, there might be a system glitch. Bah. Sullivan's like, wait a minute. Yes, Sullivan, you're not first anymore. We're going to wipe out his whole streak. Joseph, dude, you're still here. Hey, Joseph, hey, I got a question for you, man. Where are you joining us from today? Joseph F9W6R, where are you joining us from here today? And, you could call. You could call me, 431-300-3005. Got a couple minutes for a wrap the show up here. 431-300-3005. I see a text here on our text lines. That's the one from Charlie from last week. Yeah, we were talking about Sora and so forth. Charlie, I haven't got any clips from you lately, brother. You got to send me some clips. My whole bucket is empty with contributions from the community. So contributions from the community with our very own Good Time. Charlie, Good Time. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you in less than 24 hours. Actually, 22 hours and 2 minutes. Thanks for hanging out with us today, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Neiman, Kai, Jimmy, as well as all of you in the community. Have a good one, nation. We'll see you in less than 22 hours live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, mornings in the lab with Keith, John, and friends.